Welcome back.
Yeah, hello, welcome back. Sorry about that. It has been a crash once again. So I need to quickly move on to the next server for the IndyCars for Race 2. And as I was switching the graphics, Streamlabs said, sorry, no. Again.
Have you
Yeah,
tried
well,
OBS at any
I
point? Just
might
out of
have
sheer
to.
curiosity.
I might have to, because it seems like when you need Streamlabs the most, it's just going, no, sorry. It cannot take more than 20 viewers, it seems.
Well, I certainly have stories there, but of course, do we stay in the same server or do we wait for another one to
No,
be set
so
up?
you go back, you refresh, and then the next server will be going live.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. All right then. Well, that is a great way to start off the IndyCars for Cyanide, and of course, then we'll have race number 2, and then I will be here for the the Legends race, which is going to be on the west variation of the circuit, as you can see there. That will follow on straight after this. Same format as it is, 2 times 20 minutes. And then it'll be the Formula Masters from Over the Limit, and then the GT500s to round off the day with Leadport Racing. So are all 5 of the commentators joining in, by the way? I was hearing that as we were discussing.
Mm. Yep, indeed. As I was saying, let's see if the server has restarted. No, yeah, I don't think. Let's see when are we gonna get the go ahead from the race director, and I think it's just gone. Yep, it's just been well, no, I don't think so. So fill in some gaps. I think now it has.
There we go. We've actually had a server restart now, so I'm going to make my way in. I do believe that's what's happened. But yeah, no. So actually, I just kind of was saying earlier on that Suzuka was originally meant to be a Honda test circuit, but initially, that kind of all fell. Well, it still became a test circuit, but mostly it went through, and they were just like, "We've got to race around this at some point," and so that is what happened. It is the only FIA Grade 1 after Fiorano, which was, after Fiorano, which was downgraded to a Grade 2. That is Fiorano, not Suzuka. But this is the only, as far as I know, the only Grade 1 track, which is a figure of 8 circuit. It's been modified at least 8 times since its opening. The most significant was in 1983, which is where you see the Casio Triangle, which is that last chicane before the last hairpin onto the start finish straight. That was actually added because when F1 drivers initially approached that final corner, they were going at 200 miles per hour and would actually miss the actual pit entry. And of course, if you tried to slow down at that corner and you had someone behind you approaching 200 miles per hour, I don't think I need to say anything about how that would look like and how dangerous that would be. So that was certainly something there. Spear was actually made wider, and in 1985, the first corner was made slower as well. So there you go, a bit of Suzuka fun facts for you there, Matt.
Indeed, so very much interesting. Very interesting fact. I didn't know. I thought it was due to the safety of speed in general rather than pit entry. That's a new one that I've heard.
It's partially speed, yes, definitely. I think that was also a factor. It just wasn't the main factor in all of that. Well, it was. Speed was a main factor at that time, yeah. But no, server hasn't restarted. I was incorrect. So, oopsie.
Indeed.
But Matt, how do you think the day has gone so far for you?
I think the game has been going extremely. Oh, am I quiet again? My mic's just been reset. Apologies for this. There we go. There you go. Every time it crashes, it doesn't save the mic volume. Anyway, I think the day has been going so well. I mean, we smashed the goal, and the goal that I've set, and I thought myself that you know what, this goal is just there. It doesn't matter. I think I've set it too high. I was thinking, 100 quid. If we raise 100 quid, I will be happy with that. But we've raised almost £350, which has been amazing. And while we're at it, let's read the latest donation from Fox. Mega Zoomies had a bad start, race 2 of Super Formula. Hopefully we'll have a better race at the Legends 4th from Fox. Fox, you have been doing quite well with Super Formulas in race 1, so congrats to you. It's been great. It's been great to have you here. But yeah, almost £350. It's phenomenal, and we still have 4 more sessions to go. The event, it seems to have been received quite well. I'm certainly enjoying this format. I hope the viewers are enjoying the format as well. is just so fantastic to see.
Indeed. Just a bit of an update. We have, well, there's just some server issues happening right now, so we're just going to be sorting that out, and that's what's going on there. So don't worry about anything. We are considerate, like things are happening, but unfortunately, things just happen on the day. That some things you just cannot prepare for. Like trust me, I've worked on film sets which have had things happen on the day, and things go wrong. So, it was half expected, but don't worry about it. We're on top of it. It's all getting sorted, and yeah, no, we'll be with you as soon as possible.
Indeed.
Um,
Luckily, I only have one more server to keep track of, so I don't have to worry about server restarting between the sessions. So, if anything, at the last session, we'll just pull it back. And speaking of last session, I was actually thinking, why don't we? Because there is, if I split 6 events between 5 drivers, 5 commentators,
oh God,
it doesn't 6 doesn't divide by 5. So I
no, it
thought,
doesn't.
how about during the last session we invite all commentators into the box and just have a party in the commentators box like everybody else has been having party in the race event chat, and we just have a great commentating session on this on the GT 500.
I'm just going to be setting up the karaoke. You know that Eurosport clip where it's the Spanish commentator singing "Le le 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 man." That's what I'm going to be like. And do you remember when Danny said he tried to use IndyCar to get the event back on schedule? I'm not going into that discussion. No, 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 no.
It
That's not my
almost worked.
discussion.
It almost worked.
It almost worked, yes. But anyway, and yeah, no, I'm looking forward to having all 5 commentators because apart from Ven, I haven't actually met any of those commentators that you now work with. So it'd be very interesting to meet them and get to know them. And I'm gonna be my nonchalant self. You know what I mean?
Nonchalance, self, he says. Yes, when I think Dave, I think nonchalance.
All 5 commentators for GC 500. Yeah, that seems to be what the plan is.
Yeah.
Point the finger at Matt, not me.
What are you pointing finger? All 5 commentators. Yeah, all 5 commentators of GT 500. Yeah, that would be great. Get as many
Absolutely.
people. You know, I would invite the whole server, everyone who is in it, who hasn't even registered for the event, just come along. We'll fill that entire 80 car grid. We're gonna have 80 cars racing, so each commentator gets 13.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I just kind of want to say, of course, just a little side note on the whole thing. I think that is a very good thing that you are doing, and just kind of all of this planning that has gone into it. It's inspired me to do my own thing as well, which I'm not going to really go into today. It's your day, and whatnot. But I just want to say that, doing something like this, and especially as somebody in the position that you are in, it's it inspires people to do good. So I just want to say, thank you for doing like this, and I really do hope it inspires other people to run something like this, or maybe not even on the same scale, but run something where they can help out other people who have not been.
Here's something that I've come to realization. The reason I want to be
Yeah.
successful is so I can give back to communities that have helped me be to success.
Mhm.
But I've realized, you know what? I don't have much to give, but I can start. You don't have to have much to give. Just start an event. I've just started this event because I thought, you know what? I want to give something back to some charities, to give back to communities, to events. And just starting an event is sometimes good enough. I mean, look at this. I've just this event started because I went to some people and said, hey, I have this idea for a charity event that, just a whole day of racing. Let's see how many people want to do it. And I put it past quite a few people. I think it's quite a few communities. Some said they couldn't do it for scheduling reasons. Some said, yeah, I don't see why not. Let's do it. And we managed to bring 6 amazing communities together, organize this amazing day of racing for everyone to be involved. Even if you're not able to donate, you can join in, and you joining in is you giving back, because you're the reason that we are able to do this. If we had just the 6 admins, there wouldn't be really much good racing. So the feedback that we had from the community and the people that just wanted to be involved in this is enough for a lot of people. And it's just so wonderful to see that. Again, I'm not in a position. I'm on benefits. I don't have much to give, but I just thought, you know what, let's just start an event that we could get people to give. Like you saw today, we already raised £350 just by somebody saying, "Oh, why don't we have a whole day of racing?" You know,
Mm.
it's these things that you can do. You may not think you can. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could ever be in a position of bringing 6 communities in, but you can. It always just starts with, "Hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to do X? I'm thinking of X.
No,
Go out there,
absolutely.
go do it. You have more power to change the world than you think."
Mm. And very, very powerful words there. I'll try not to choke up on the stream, but like that is some very powerful words. And to everybody watching, I hope it inspires you to try something like this. Maybe not on the same scale of this, and it doesn't matter what kind of scale it is. Even if you don't have much, you can still do a lot with very little.
There is so many people that are also streaming these events, and even if you don't have anyone to do it, you could go, "Hey guys, I'm gonna do 12 hours of sim racing for this charity. Come watch, come donate." That works too. You don't need to bring communities together. It always comes down to,
Mm.
"Hey, I want to do X for charity," or start with, "What can I do? What am I good at? You know what? I'm quite good at playing video games. I'm gonna go. Hey guys, I'm gonna torture myself for 12 hours in the name of this charity."
Absolutely.
It's simple things like that.
Mm.
But sometimes
I
the
just want
simplest
to
things
say,
have the most impact.
absolutely. I just want to say Server 2 is now underway, so they're just coming to the final minute of practice. So get your ass over there, and yeah, we'll see some action underway. But at the moment, yeah, no, it's just free practice at the moment. You got a bit of time.
Indeed, so we got free practice as we bring it back from the sappiness of the stream back into some hard metal proper racing, back with IndyCars, going back to the land of Americans.
I guess yes. American, Japanese, sure.
Okay, Japanese stationed in America. Sorry, American stationed in Japan. That's probably the closest we're gonna get.
Yes, I would say so. And in the best possible way, okay?
Yeah,
Um,
in the best possible way. Back here with Suzuka with IndyCars, the Japanese circuit with American flair of racing. To be honest, not too dissimilar with their flair of open wheeler racing.
exactly, yes. No, of course. The IndyCar is a bit bigger than Super Formula. Super Formula, I do believe, is lighter than IndyCar, but that is just going off knowledge that I read like a year ago, so I might have been misreading that. Of course, we should have, what is it, Justin on pole for this race. He finished 8th last time out, so he should be pole position for this one. I can't remember the rest off the top of my head. I forgot to make notes on that. That was my bad. But we will be underway soon. Now, Merlo, and who won? I won last race. So much has happened.
Let me give you some top tips with Matt here today. If you go onto the live timings, you can click on results, and you can click race 1. It will show you the finishing order.
Thank you very much. I'll get that up for you right now.
So
Top tips with Matt has concluded for another episode.
So we will have Roland Justin on pole with Ike Maraves second. Steve Stevenson finished 6th, so he will be starting 3rd. Juan Gramash will be 4th with Luca Casal 5th. 6th will be Martin Oliveira, and then Isbrand and Mirko will start 7th, 8th respectively. And then we will have Jan Temka 9th, Arno in 10th, and then Martin Kral 11th. And then let's see if Danny managed to swindle somebody out of a setup.
Also, I just want to say it's currently showing your timetable on stream, but just wanted to make you aware of that. But at the moment, then we're not missing anything. It's just free practice as it stands right now. The race will be underway in a couple of moments' time. Just drivers finishing off some laps just to get that final bit of practice in. And then we'll be underway for another 20 minutes of chaotic action. And if race 1 was anything to go by, we've got some more chaos to come our way in a bit, because drivers who are faster will be needing to make their way up the grid. And anyway, the countdown now begins. 1.5 minutes, Matt. Where do you think this is going to be?
Okay, so due to issues that we had with the switch of the service from race 1 to race 2, the reverse grid has been take it from qualifying instead of race 1. So so whatever I just said will be a little bit different, but again we will still have a top 8 reverse, just in a different format. But just to try and get us back on schedule. But with the about 23 minutes we're hoping to this will end, I will have to move the start of our Letpo Racing race 15 minutes in advance now. So, you know what, 15 minutes delay, I can live with that. I've been to racing at Croft where the delay was 2 hours, so...
Oh, Baneka, what was that for?
Oh, it was Big Trucks Racing. Oh no, it was Pembrey. It was Big Trucks Racing, and then they went into the barrier so much that they dug up about 5 meters of dirt.
Oh my goodness, that is a lot of dirt.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of racing with big rigs. You know, when they plow into a barrier, they're not exactly designed to stop a 5-ton truck. So when you have a 5-ton truck traveling at 90 miles an hour, I'll let you do the force equals mass times acceleration, because I'm not doing it.
I'm not a mathematician, so I'll leave that up to someone in chat who is a mathematician. But anyway, now the countdown is over. The race will begin in 2 minutes. Of course, I will need to remind myself to cut to the pit lane once things get underway. But at the moment, there you go. You see that banner, SpecialEffect, and of course, a very humble charity deserving of all your love. Thank you again to everybody who has donated on this stream. And of course, how long will the donation link be up for after the event?
We'll leave it running for a couple of days just to see if anyone that wasn't able to watch it today comes back from holidays. Most likely for another week at least, just to make sure that people who wanted to donate but weren't able to be here for one reason or another, you know, you went on holiday, unplanned, something happened, you'll still be able to if you want.
Brilliant. So about another week, and then you'll be able to donate. So don't worry if you cannot do it today. That is perfectly okay. You will still have another week after this. Of course. But anyway, now the 1 minute to go. Who do you think's gonna win this one, Matt?
Oh, do you know what? Melo, right there sitting in 3rd place, is looking in a quite good position to take that away from Luca and Jan ahead. That's probably one. Stevenson down in P11. If he had just qualified 3 more spots, I think he could be in a very good contention himself. Looking at the grid, I think most drivers opted for the alternates this time around. Let me quickly double check the live timings. And it does seem like, yep, almost everyone. Mirko Merlo is on primaries. So is Martin Kral. So, you know what? Mostly alternates, because they can make the last distance, it seems. I think it's going to be, I don't know, Casale. Let's give him the curse.
I'm gonna say Stevenson to make his way up the grid, but now we have 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights, and it'll be take 2 in Suzuka soon. It's go again, and that is a good start by Tango. Oh no! Merlo has been cursed, and he's already, bulldozed the driver into the pit wall there. So Temka will hold the lead. Casala starting to drop off a bit as he goes through the first corner now. Holds on to 2nd for now, but now Temka has a cushion in that Red Bull camouflage livery. And Oliveira now up into 3rd. So after that, where is Merlo? I don't actually see him yet. So
Merlo is up to 6th is down to 6th place. Ike Marve was the car that was careened into, I believe, down in 9th place now. He's gonna try and make a move on Anno. Is that going to be just behind? Oh, everyone running wide through the Degnes, and Degner too. Anno taking too much, and Ike gets spun around into outside of Degnes. Jan Temka is hanging around the outside. Luca Casala is now in the lead. Martin Oliveira takes 2nd. Roland Justin up to 3rd place. Behind him is Juan Gramas. Stopper is there. Anno up to 6th place. Somehow he is avoiding most of the carnage, where usually it's him ending up in the carnage.
Yeah, there was definitely an instant. I didn't quite see it because my camera angle unfortunately cut it off from where I was spectating, so I didn't see it. But now we have a battle for 2nd place. Justin up into 2nd. Now, of course, earlier on he hadn't actually won a single event in AFR and was able to take that earlier on today in a charity race, but it will mean all the same to him. But now his teammate Oliveira down the outside of 130. Yeah, we'll try again for the inside of Casio Triangle, but Justin holds firm for now. Now to Ali G there And Ali G up into 6. Anno relegated to 7th. And Anno wide at the final hairpin there. And that allows Stevenson through. So Stevenson up into 7th from what was... Oh, but there's contact again. Who was that? Was it Marver again, or was that just going into the wall? No. There was somebody involved in that, and I can't see what it was.
And neither could I, but moving back to the fight for the second place, we have Oliveira, Gramage, and Stopper just 10ths behind one another. Juan Gramage just maintaining a lead. Stopper 4 tenths behind Oliveira, and Juan just able to refrain themselves from using those push to passes. So they have one push to pass in hand against everyone around them.
I know who it was, and you're not going to like the answer.
Was it Jan Temke?
No, it was me.
It was you.
Yeah, I've influenced the race.
And
Let me just try and sort that out real quick.
So that's a £10 to the charity, as Nicodem has done himself.
No problem at all. Just give me a moment. I'll just sort this issue out.
Oh dear. So as my co-commentator rigs the race once again, Juan Gramage on the back of Martin Oliveira for the final points paying position. Luca Casala maintains that 2.2 second lead ahead of Roland Justin. He is looking pretty good to take that race win, as I put him behind, and it seems like the commentator's curse is a commentator's bless. Down the inside looks Juan Gramage into the Casio triangle, as just found out it's called. Makes a move on Martin Oliveira, gets on by, and I believe Martin Oliveira himself is on primary tyres, so no, he is on alternators, Red Bull tyres, so he has the same amount of grip as drivers around him. Looks out with the fastest lap of the race as Stevenson sets the timings alight, trying to get back onto the fighting trio. Well, yeah, fighting trio for the final podium place. Making really good inroads, 2 tenths up just through the first corner. Stopper not giving up for the chase, even if Juan was able to get by Martin Oliveira. Not pulling away as much as we would hope. We do expect drivers to just pull away slightly or extend themselves through the Suzuka S's due to the aero wash, but Oliveira, look at him, already on the back of Juan Gramage with the Degnes. Closes in ever so slightly. Bit more stable than Juan, able to make control, keep the speed up. Who's got the better exit? It's Juan. No, actually it's Oliveira with a better exit into the hairpin corner. Narrowly judging the distance perfectly. Little bit of hesitation on the throttle. It seems like Juan was able to get a much better exit and has that 4/10 second advantage.
Thank you very much. Well, I've finally just got myself all gathered up, and now I am back in the pit lane, so no more rigging the race from me. Casala now is, well, nearly 2 seconds ahead, but of course, with a pacey Roland Justin behind, that is going to be surely hard. And with 15 minutes left, surely Roland's just going to take it easy on those alternatives, making sure that they can last for the entirety of the race. Casale, well, he'll be feeling the pressure. He's not very often...
Oh, that's a dive from 3 postcodes away on Martin Oliveira from Eastman Stopper. Fantastic move. Well held around the brakes.
Wow.
Does not look up. Makes the apex. Gives enough room on the midway of the chicane and makes his way by Oliveira. That was a massive good send. Stopper has been phenomenal on the brakes whenever I watch him race in Super Formula, and here it's no different. He's just able to just outbrake most of his opponents.
I'm just apologizing to Anno in his stream right now as we're going through all that, but great move from Stopper in all of that. Well, there you go. He's up into 4th now, trying to recover the race as it is right now. Luca Casale starting to extend that gap to Roland as well. Stevenson, after Oliveira had made a mistake there, out of Dunlop. And there you go. It is. Anno has actually retired from the race as well, Matt. So that is a lot of apologizing I need to do.
Gonna be half down on the knees, and he's going to stop runs into the back of Juan Gramage. Stevenson has no way to avoid that. Eastbound Stopper loses the position to Stevenson. Very much self-inflicted, I think, that there was no way that he was making a lunge with Juan Gramage into that hairpin. So Stopper losing out on that. Oliveira is going to be, well, you know what, a little bit of that as Ike Marva spins out, going through 200, I think that is. And everyone using push to pass. Stevenson now 4 tenths behind Juan Gramage, who might have a little bit of a rear wing damage. Certainly Stopper will have a little bit of a yellow, maybe orange front wing after that contact with Juan. Look at Casal spins out on the chicane and loses the lead to Roland Justin. Juan misses the chicane himself. And commentator's bliss has turned into commentator's curse once again.
Indeed it has, and there you go. So while Gravage misses the chicane, is Stevenson close enough? He certainly is. He's got the slipstream. He doesn't use the push to pass now down the inside into the first hairpin, and he's got that done. Into third goes Stevenson. My prediction could still come
Look
true.
at Casal in the gravel.
Luca Casala gets it wrong out of the first hairpin on the exit, and he drops like a water to stone. There's Merlot in all of that. He thought he'd be higher up, but the race just hasn't gone his way. So, at the moment, now your grid looking, well, your battle's looking very different now. Stopper now fighting for the podium position, and Stevenson fighting for
Stopper
the lead.
is now in the gravel coming out of the deckness, so Stopper puts himself out of the battle for podium place as well.
And Ali G was nearly collected on the rejoin there, so it's all now up into fifth. So Stopper out of that leading battle. Now, let's see. We need to keep an eye on the battle for second as well, but then there's also the battle for fifth, which is developing. Well, I say fifth, but it should be really sixth because Merlot is now on the back of Stopper after his mistake. Justin extended the gap, uses his push to pass on the back stretch there, coming through 130R. And now everybody else follows suit. So at the moment, Stevenson leading by 1.2 seconds there. And Gramage ahead of Oliveira in third there by 2.3 seconds. So the top five are spaced out. They're in their own races. I don't think we are going to see... I don't think we're going to see anyone catch Justin unless if Stevenson is safe. Oh my word, there's contact in the background. That was between Ali G and Stopper, I think. They got involved in yet another tussle. And this time that one did end up in some sort of contact. Now 3 wide for turn 1, Matt.
Yeah, indeed. We see, I think Ali G had a little bit of a problem. Maintains that sixth position ahead of Merlot. And it seems like this race has been possessed by the spirit of Charles Leclerc. Everybody keeps bottling it left and right.
And of course, that'll be of the effect of going on to those softer alternative compound of tires. While the primaries, like, you could like push on those a little bit and they wouldn't really overheat. But of course, you push harder like you would on a primary on the alternatives. It doesn't have the what's the word? The rubber to resist that. The rubber is softer. It's not got that harder compound. So unfortunately, you're going to overheat your tires, and of course you'll see a mistake that like Luca's there. So there you go. So drivers need to be careful there, as Stevenson there ignoring track limits through Spoon. But it looks like we're not taking those too seriously, I imagine, as there you go, uses push to pass again.
No, really, we have Luca Casal right on the back of Mirko Merlo. Mirko Merlo, one of the drivers who is on, I believe, primary set of tires. So he's going to be need to push a little bit. Lucas Casal goes side by side and once again into 130R. Now this is a corner that drivers really don't want to be going too wide in real life, but so far this event, down the outside goes Lucas Casal on the brakes, tries to brake, has the inside for the final part, and Mirko has to concede, unfortunately. Luca Casal just able to brake a little bit later than him, but as I was saying, drivers don't usually go side by side through 130R, and so far, even if Super Formula today, we had a free wide there, and everyone survived. There's contact between Ali G and Luca Casal, just drives into the back of Ali G. Ali G off to the side, just spins out, and like I said, it seems like we had quite the spirit possessors today in race 2. 10 minutes still left to go, and there's still definitely way more carnage on the way from the way everyone's been driving so far.
I just want to say Stevenson just got a 137, so that is the fastest.
Somebody's in there. Oliveira's going rally crossing, dropping down like a stone once again. Marlo trying to make a move. The Degness somehow manages to keep it just in. That must have been a brown pants moment for Merlo right there, seeing Martin Oliveira just come across, and damn, that's the Degness.
It was the Degness indeed, but I just want to say, unfortunately, as things seem to happen quicker than we can keep up with, so at the moment, Stevenson is bringing that gap down to the leader. He is on fire in that.
Very wide from Stopper. He managed to keep control somehow saves the car. That's unbelievable car control from Stopper.
Indeed it is, but Stevenson now under 3 seconds, but we have a battle intensifying for the last podium spot. It's between Gramage, Stopper and Casala. Casale, of course, representing, I think it's OTL, if I'm not mistaken. And now, everybody line astern now. But look at that. Also, there's Merlot in the background. Merlot was involved in an earlier incident and is now looking at a podium. And it just shows you how consistency will pay and bring you back into a fight. Oliveira has had another mistake. That was a 146, so he's had a moment somewhere. And unfortunately for him, he is dropping back, but so is Ali G. Like another thing has happened to him.
Oh, side by side through the corners. Juan Garage has made a mistake. It's contact. Both Juan and his brother stopper have made contact through the S's. Somehow Juan was very slow off the S's, and it just led to some contact between the two. Not sure who was at fault there, but it just kind of looked like one of those racing incidents where driver, oh, okay, I think I have enough overspeed, closes in, and both yourself spin out. So Juan and Stopper just put themselves out the battle for that podium place, and now Merlo 2 seconds behind Luca Casal. Casal, after that bottle drop at the start, passes himself into podium places.
Absolutely, a Merlot. Well, sorry, go on.
I was about to say, especially after that rally crossing he has done through the Suzuka S's, that was put himself down to P9 at some point.
It certainly did, but Luca Casale has kept it consistent and kept it on the track since then, and has found himself benefiting from the dramas in front of him. I also want to say as well, in terms of that lead battle, it is now coming under 2 seconds, so that bubble is slowly starting to burst, and Justin will have to be careful towards the end of this race. In fact, make that 1.8 seconds as they start come on to the start finish straight. Look at that, 1 second faster. 1:37.5 from Stevenson, Justin with a 1:38.5, so a 1 second difference in pace between the two. And Merlo now, as we cut back to the battle for fourth, Oliveira might be looking to have a go into the first lap, and if he close enough, Merlo was half a second slower than the car behind, and Casale is outpacing these two drivers, but Oliveira holds off for now, and he'll try again at a later point, maybe in the lap, but time is against him. Nearly 6 minutes to go. Time, well, make a move sooner rather than later, Matt.
Somebody check what Stevenson is the real person that was partaking in qualifying, because he found so much pace between qualifying. Who's that in the wall? Is that Merlo? That's Luca Casal again, rally crossing and giving up that third position in that 2 second gap he had.
Wow, Casala throws it away again.
And spins and Degnes again, so that's going to be more spaces, and calls it quits.
And I don't blame him, really. I think his alternatives were just cooked to beyond, well, to a scrambled egg, essentially. Unfortunately for him, like, you know, we were saying this earlier, as the more mistakes you make, the more cooked those alternatives get. You can't really...
Oh, and Stopper's in the wall!
Stopper in the wall, and that is just on the exit of, that is the hairpin, so that's 200R there. And that allows Ali G through to make up another position. That's only 6th. I say it's only 6th, but at least it's better than where he was. Benefiting from DNFs around him. Marava's also in the pits. He's been in the pits for about 8 minutes, so I think he's out of this race. Another 1:37.8 from Stevenson, so Stevenson is now 1.4 seconds behind. He's got one less push to pass and might need to save on this lap, because with Justin with 3 in hand, Stevenson with 2, I don't think he's going to know this. 1:38 from Merlot there and a 1:39 from Oliveira. So that gap beginning to cushion out between the two drivers there, 3rd and 4th. And then everybody else is just kind of in a race of their own. So the attention turns to 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 2 battles between them. Who can make an impact? And I think Oliveira has gotten dangerously close. In fact, yes, 3/10 in the snake section, Matt.
Indeed, and it has been 2 times now. And just interrupting the show, I have a personal message telegram for you, David. I will personally install AutoStart for you, and I will come to your house and personally install AutoStart for you.
Well, was that Anna or Sutsui?
You could take a guess who's the author of such statement.
Okay, then I think I'll take that as it is. It could be either Satsui or Anno. But those two sound capable of doing that very, very well, might I add. But anyway.
Indeed, but anyway, 1.2 seconds between Stevenson and Justin. 3 more laps remaining. Oh, could be 2. It could be borderline 2 or 3. But Look. Oh, there's a half spin for Stevenson. That's gonna lose him the advantage he had on this lap. He's back down to 1.4. But you know what? He hasn't lost that much. He's still a 10 faster than Justin on that previous lap. So Stevenson really cooking throughout that lap time to come back from 11th place where he qualified to fighting for the race win. Granted, there has been... Oh, was that Justin going wide? Justin has gone out through the first turn, and Stevenson managed to drive around him and exploit that. Justin does have one more push to pass, but given the pace that Stevenson has been showing, I'm not sure whether that extra push to pass will be useful or will help him in that fight.
Justin, of course, will also have to deal with the dirty air. He's now looking at the back of a car. And now, of course, with the how these cars work aerodynamically, it just brings off turbulent air. So now, Justin has, well, if he still wants to win, he's got now another challenge. Not only have his tyres is gone, but now now he's got extra difficulty with the car in front. So now Justin needs to rely on just staying close and maybe definitely being conservative through the corners. For example, through here, he's not going to have as much downforce as he would usually have. Very wide there from Stevenson. But of course, he has been taking that line all day long. So I can't imagine that is any different. Now, will Stevenson save his push to passes?
Ali G is off.
Ali
had a moment, so that's going to promote Eastman Stopper up to 6th place by sheer attrition alone. To be honest, we both know that they should have been much higher up than they have been running.
Oliveira's got a moment in the spoon curve. Sorry to cut over you there, Matt, but Oliveira with a moment run Gramage up into 4th. That is at spoon.
So that's disaster, because that was another battle that I was hoping would maintain us. Justin does a 145, Stevenson does a 118. So for the last two laps. Yeah, last 2 laps. Yeah, I think last 2 laps we will be having. We will have a battle between Stevenson and Justin. And I'm not sure whether Justin will be able to close the gap. He does have one more push to pass, but given the pace advantage that Stevenson was displaying, I'm not too sure.
Stevenson definitely continuing to show that pace as well. He's burst that 1 second bubble to Justin behind. So I think this battle has about faded out. It is going to take something dramatic for these two, to be caught by Merlot behind. Merlot actually went on the primary tyres again. And this time, obviously, due to, it was really nothing of his own doing. And he finds himself back in 3rd and 19 seconds off this battle. But as we now come to the conclusion of the race, Stevenson taking it in the dying embers of the race. And Stevenson actually abiding by the track limits this time. So maybe there's a cut warning that he has earned, and he's just being cautious now. Now Justin using his push to pass. He's got 2 remaining. And of course, at the end of this lap, they will both use their last one when we come through to the back stretch next time around. 25 seconds to go. So as Matt said, we will have one more lap. Here we go. Who is it gonna be? One last lap of Suzuka. I'm trying to come up with something epic there, but couldn't. And they both do a 138. So Stevenson's tires pass their best, assumedly. And here we go. So coming through to the first corner now, and Justin gets that down by nearly half a second, but went very wide, so he'll lose the time on the exit there. And that does indeed reset for the time being. And through the snake section, all good through here. Stevenson keeping it composed. White flag out. Leader on final lap. Still a second separating them. Justin needs to get within that slipstream range. And mistake there from Stevenson. He's got that all sorts of wrong. And Justin now is right where he needs to be through the Degners. And he's got that all good so far. Keeps it composed. Doesn't get desperate. Justin there displaying great maturity to try and get closer. Now Stevenson is really under the cosh. They're all there trying to go through to the hairpin. And that was from second to
big slide for Justin. He hits the wall. Big overzealous on the throttle. That's going to cost Justin the fight for the first place. And Stevenson, for the second time today, given that, providing he doesn't bottle it anywhere, is going to win for the second time this today. And in the second race, once again, starting all the way down in P11, that he has shown a great pace today. A very well-deserved, but heartbreak for Roland Justin, who was looking for his own second race. A second race win has been quite flawless up until the last couple of moments. just been maintaining his own race, trying to avoid incidents, but it will be Stevenson to triumph here today as he comes across the finish line with a 180 across the start finish line, just in heartbreak, but he has survived the high attrition race that has been shown here today for IPK Aerosport, and it will be Mirko Merlo coming home in third place, with Juan fourth place, battling for that race win earlier on, and Oliveira as well with his own trials tribulations. Stopper as well back down in sixth place, and look at the gaps after the drivers have just had their own adventures through the last couple of laps, and Ali G just doesn't care anymore about the final chicane and just crosses the start finish line.
Indeed. I've just got Anno's message there for you. So yeah, no, it was definitely Anno who sent that, and yeah, no, I can't blame him for his anger, to be honest. Oh god, I'm being absolutely roasted in the IndyCar chat. David did not cook even, so I'm very sorry to anybody's race I ruined, especially Anno's. But yeah, there we go. So now, moving on from IndyCar, we now have next the Legends Ford from the Burb Racing League. A great racing shown prior, and now, of course, instead of the full Grand Prix circuit that is usually used, we are going on to the West layout, Matt.
Indeed, for the only series that will be racing on the alternative layout, we are going to Suzuka West. And we have still 3 more events to go through. We have the fantastic Ford Legends, who have seen the highest turnout so far for a 20-minute race around the West Circuit of Suzuka. That's going to be extremely fun, I reckon. It's going to be the highlight of today, I reckon. And we still have Formula Masters and the GT500 race later to come.
Indeed, we do. And of course, I'll be back for that with 4 other commentators, which I can't imagine how that's going to go. So I can't wait for it. But we'll certainly look forward to that. And Formula Masters as well. I'll look forward to that, but that will not be with myself. So you'll see me again at the GT500. Well, I can't wait for the chaos that will ensue, Matt. How do you think this is going to go with 5 commentators in the booth?
Oh, I think it's going to be brilliant. I think we're just going to have our own party here. They've been,
Right,
I mean, all the drivers have been having a party. There's been like 20 of them in a voice chat. They're probably, you got a little barbecue going on for drivers who are not racing. Everyone's coming in, just checking on their cars, having a little festival atmosphere. We're stuck in a little Marshall's post with a diesel generator, a blanket on, and nothing but an umbrella, really.
Indeed. And I need to make that £10 donation, don't I?
Oh, yeah, you do, because you did some race fixing. That's the penalty.
Let me just get on that right now. I'll also go get some water, so I'll be with you in just 1 minute, okay?
So I will go and get some water myself. So I will let you guys have some fun with the current, if I can get the game stream, with the current happenings on the track. So once Dave returns, make sure to tell him I'm getting my own drink. Right, I am back. So that's no longer race 2 of, well, that is me flying. So that is no longer that is race 1 of Legends. So we got that happening. There we go. Now the graphic is correct. So what do we have here today? We should have quite the turnout here today for the drivers. Just look at all of these fantastic little cars happening. If I could just turn the auto cam off. As far as the eye can see, there's little angry, annoying bees, mosquitoes, or whatever have you here around, which will be extremely sick. And I even get my own special car. So, with that to go, and because we're a little bit behind schedule, we'll be going straight to racing. 2 minutes left.
I have returned.
There we go. Thank you for coming back. Just in the nick of time, we have quite the race happening. Now I just need to go get the live timings for Burb League. There we go. Live timings is back up.
What's the password? Can you just DM me the password?
It's in event service.
Event service, okay.
Yes.
Because for some reason it's asking me for a password. So apologies about that.
That's well and good. You just have 1 minute 20 to log in, so that's fine. We have, if I can just completely see, 22 drivers out here for this race. So far, one of the alongside Super Formula highest attendance for events so far, and I'm really looking forward to this race.
Right?
Yeah, we got the Cobra, so we got special treatment. We treated at the Burb League event.
Nice, thank you, Burb. But anyway, so yeah, no, just give me a moment. I'll just make sure auto start is actually enabled, and then take it from there.
Yeah, that just make sure it's a shorter lap time, so you have even less time.
Yeah, exactly. So I will make sure that's all done so that I don't annoy anybody else. But anyway, so this is actually a cheaper way of going motor racing. I don't know the exact cost, but they're also replica cars from, the stock car racing from the 1940s. So they're kind of like, I think it's a scale of a 5/8 replica, Matt. So there you go. I did a bit of research before I came on.
Okay, define your cheaper, because I did ask one of the teams that are running these Ford Legends, and do you know what the yearly cost is?
Oh God,
38,000.
Okay, never mind.
So there's your cheap racing happening as 6 lights go on, and 6 lights are about to go on. If you have 38,000, this is cheap way of going racing. So Mirko Melo gets a fantastic race start. Juan Gramash gets an even better start, already pressuring the drivers up ahead as we make our way down to the 1:30 hour. I will just quickly make sure we have a great view. We already have somebody spinning in the background. I think that's Anno maybe spinning in the background as we see the horde of angry bees making their way down 31 into the proper first braking zone. How would that go? Ooh, everyone maintaining. Ooh, everyone going wide actually. Look at all this. This is a little bit of a car park happening through there. This would have been quite the server restart if this was a proper league racing, but as you can see, everyone just tripping over one another.
Wow, I'm having to watch it on the stream because I can't actually find my apps at the moment. So, we're just seeing it. It was all well, I would say it's like NASCAR, but yeah, there goes somebody saying boogity, boogity, boogity. Somebody had the same thought as me, and already, let's see, already up by about, what is it, 1.9 seconds? I can't read it because of the sun.
Yeah, and remember what we said, these cars are all about slipstream, so if you're outside of a pack, well, good luck for you, unless you are leading, and your lead might not be very quick. So Backdraft is the name of the game, hence the push bars in the front and back. This is what these cars were designed for. But, well, not much what Assetto Corsa was designed for, but hey ho, you could always give it a go. Very sideways action from all of the drivers going through the spoon curve. Juan on the outside of Martin Oliveira. Lucas trying to keep a third place. Juan drives around the outside. Ooh, we know how short geared these cars are, so that's going to be very much interesting. We have battles up and down the field, so this is going to be the closest battles we will have on hand, and I'm just not gonna know where to go. Honestly, it will be up and down really. Ooh, very wide from Juan right there. Going through 130R, and a very liberal use of track limits.
Very liberal indeed. There you go. So there you go. I am in now, so that is all good. I'm popped up on the pit exit, and now I am with you. So Merlot is really far ahead. I haven't got any delta at the moment because I've only just come into the session. There you go. I'm getting it all now. We are seeing
more
battles.
contact.
Wow, a lot of battling. Yeah, no, I see what you mean now.
Here we have Sarah Mufatawa down in P14. She has been quick, one of the quicker drivers. Taskinity just ahead of her. Roland Justin, very wiggly around the just behind them. Gonna try and make a move. Side by side they go. Good exit for Sarah there. Good exit for Roland. Taz may have had a bit of an excursion there. It's very sideways for Taz. He's coming on spinning. Ooh, just manages to avoid Roland Justin.
Indeed he does. Well, actually, I think there was just a slight bit of contact, but that promotes Sarah Mulfitova up into 12th position. Further up the field, up into the podium places, I'm actually seeing Hopkins, Oliveira and Gramage fighting with Casale for third. Of course, remember, Casale lost out in the last race due to an error through the snake section. Of course, we are not in that section of the circuit for this one. And there you go, Merlo with the fastest lap of 1:31.027, but then very much beat by Marquez pretty much right away. So now Marquez 1.7 seconds, and he's not using the slipstream and seems to be catching him. Marquez catching Merlo even without the slipstream, Matt. So that is epic pace being shown by Marquez.
Indeed, as we have side by side for the 130 between Jacob Masters and Jan Temka. Jan on the inside. Can he get the braking correct into it, or will Jacob outbrake himself? Jan very early on the brakes, looking for that switchback. Ooh, and he does get the switchback. Good defensive moving from the Polish Jan Temka. Jacob Masters tries to hang around the outside, has to concede the place, has the outside move for the following Degner curves. Ooh, he's going to take a little bit wider line. Has to concede, unfortunately. Jan Temka just ahead of him. Paschetti just behind him. That's our series organizer in 11th place, one who's running this show, just behind the top 10. Let's see where it goes. I think it's top 10 reverse or top 6 reverse. I'm not too sure. I'll have to consult the sheet, the timing sheet, just after this race. But look at them all within 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Oliveira and Juan swapping places, and they might swap once again into the spoon.
I actually just want to say earlier on, while you were focusing on the battle for the podium there, Fox had a moment there, down from, 14th to 20th, had a moment going through the west section, which was, after 130R, that double right-hander, then coming onto the Degner, finds themselves now in 19th on a recovery, basically. But now, of course, we are seeing the drivers now 4th and 5th doing battle, going through to 130R, but it's Juan Gramage who holds place for now, but it's now Oliveira on the cutback now to the outside of the double right-hander. Here we go. Who is going to hold firm? It is Oliveira, and there you go. Liberty track limits there from Gramage. It doesn't matter, though. Oliveira gets the move done, but third place, Casello on the grass, as is Hopkins there in the background, 6th. And now we have, General Thomas up into 7th place from Stevenson there. Stevenson relegated to 8th, and now the slipstream advantage goes to Stevenson there, Matt.
Indeed, and Taskinity gets a little bit of a push from back, I believe. Max Livingston on the exit of the turn number 3 is relegated down to 22nd place. So good, there's still race 2 to come. Jan Temka pressuring Steve Stevenson on the inside to the hairpin. Can he make it? No, he can't. Jacobs runs all the way back. Sarah Mulfatova looking for a move up to 11th place on Paschetti. Somehow fell back, but is now back ahead, and we have a group battle up here for 8th, down all the way down to 12th. We have Stevenson, Tepka, Matthews, Mulfatova and Paschetti all in the shot of that 8th place.
Absolutely, it's exciting stuff. We've just seen a change for 14th there. Marivert and Bretmeyer swapping there. So Justin up into 8th, but then Temka down the inside of Stevenson. Stevenson, I think, made another mistake through Spoon, but now Stevenson with the cutback looking to get the advantage with the traction. Has the slot in behind, will have the slipstream coming through to the 130R, but General Thomas not being true to his name at all, as we are now seeing 2 side-by-side battles going into 130R. Here we go. Who is going to win out? Jacob on the inside of...
Sarah switches to the inside.
Oh, it switches to the inside indeed. And epic stuff coming from these 4 racers. Yes, it is Sarah Wolfitova in the background there as Anno sets a server PB with a 1:34.889. However, down outside of the top 20 as it stands right
Paschetti
now.
gets very wide out of turn 2. Paschetti was getting very wide out of turn 2. That allowed Justin to bring himself back up to P12. And Sarah fighting for that 10th spot. He's going to try and chase Jacob Matthews. Jan Tepka is up there for 8th place. And now the battle between 8th down to 12th extends down to 13th as well. As we see changes. Oh, Oliveira. We just got Oliveira out of the hairpin, just losing on the throttle. Whether that was assisted or not, I'm not sure. But it's now Hopkins and Juan Gramash for that 4th place battle. And General Damas.
Making his way round the outside with an intelligent move through the 200R, and now Oliveira vulnerable to Temka, looking around the outside of 130R. That very rarely works out unless you're in a high downforce car like the Indies and the Super Formulas we saw earlier on. Very different breed of cars this, so as you were saying earlier in the stream, Matt, very hard to get into a rhythm if you're taking part in all of the events. And they go to General Duras with a server personal best out of a 1:31.6, Matt.
We have Hopkins now succumbing to Juan Grama's slipstream down the main straight. It's going to have the outside for the turn number 2. We have more side-by-side action, fall back, further back. Hopkins tries the switchback. The move that has worked before is a very powerful move in these cars, just to switch back under. These cars have a very interesting grip and torque out of the corners that allows you to very easily cut somebody back under. Because you have a much better... Ooh, very wide for Hopkins on Juan Gramash. That's going to allow him to pull away. So let's switch back for that battle. For that now 7th place.
Wow, indeed it has. Oliveira leading the train out of the Degners, now coming up into the hairpin. He has to remain firm for now, but Sarah Wolfitova was looking like she was going to have a go on Jacob Matthews there, but wasn't close enough to make it work. And now we are seeing Stevenson and Justin do battle the number 32 car as Arno's had a moment in the background as well. Fox
that was a very interesting attempt to rejoin there from Arno right into the way of Iriashi there. Switch back to Sarah Wolfitova as she retakes 9th place. She may have a run on Jan Temka if she can get a good exit out of the spoon curve.
Indeed, let's see what she could do. Up into 9th now, so she's overtaken Matthews and now is in the slipstream of Temka in front and a 1:31.6. So 0.5 faster than Temka there.
I think Arno and Fox had a little bit of a get-together. Further down, Jacob Matthews within slipstream of Sarah Wolfitova. Gonna try and make a move around the outside. 130 is still flat out in these cars from what I've been told. Albeit, probably you might need a change of pants every time you do flat out.
Yeah, no, Code Brown every single lap. By the way, Marquez went 0.3 faster on that lap alone. He got the gap down to 2 seconds, but honestly, it's kind of settled at that bubble. So I don't think Marquez, with 10 minutes to go, is going to quite catch Merlot. So I think Merlot's got this one in the bag as it stands right now. Although as soon as I say that, it's 1.7 seconds now. So we'll keep an eye on it with just under 10 minutes to go. But now Wolfitova to the inside of Temka there. Locks up the brakes at the hairpin, but makes a great move. It was very opportunistic, but unfortunately, as she didn't have the traction due to that inside line, Temka was able to take that back. And now Sarah will have to try again. But now up ahead, the battle for 6th here. Oliveira is now, well, being brought into the crutches of Dumas here. And now Wolfitova trying again for 8th in the background of this as well. Through spoon contact between.
There's been a bit of contact. So Wolfitova managed to make wide. I think it was Oliveira running a bit wide. General Damas just slotting in behind. That's going to bring Sarah and the rest of the following pack all the way down to 11th place for the battle, up for 6th place now. So we're slowly moving this group up, and up as they move in one group. Hopefully, maybe trying to bring the battle to Merlot.
Diesel in the chat saying you're all having too much fun. Saying General Saban, I love it. We certainly are.
Jan Temka down the inside. That's going to outbrake himself a lot. He's going way out. He's not at Suzuka anymore. I think he may have ended up in Okayama with that maneuver.
No, he ended up in Octopolis. May as well go for as far up north as you possibly can. But here we go, and now it's Jacob Matthews. I think he's in a battle, and that is with
Contact
Oh,
between
it's
Justin and Jacob Matthews. Oh, how does he manage to save that? He was like in the corner, was that almost looked intentional drift to maintain. He didn't even lose too much speed.
Indeed, and look at this now. Roland Justin with the most time in time. 2-in-1 deal. Buy one, get one free. And Justin gets through. That's Jacob Matthews on the grass on the exit of the hairpin. And Justin up into ninth with an epic dive into the hairpin. That tight left-hander working out for him. And now it has brought Stevenson into a battle with Temco into the deck. Well, Spoon even round the outside. This may not work, but wait a minute. Stevenson has still held it there, but does have to concede in the middle of the corner. Azuka Kasala has now disconnected.
Oh, big slide from Stevenson. This even looked like a too much of slide or a bit of a neck goes. Certainly not intentional. Luka Kasala gets a little bit disconnected. Not sure what happened there. If I hear of anything, I will certainly let you guys know. It sounds like Luka Kasala has to go. That's why he is unfortunately departing. So Sarah Mulfatova up to P6. She managed to get by General Damas somehow.
Indeed. So now Sarah improving, well, displaying the pace that I really do know her for, because I was, in OTL. No, it was BPR at that point before it became OTL, and she was the champion, I believe, of that as well. So I'm not surprised Sarah Mulfatova has been making gains on the grid. She is an incredibly quick driver and is frequent in AFR as well. And of course has been a champion there. So Sarah Mulfatova, an excellent advocate for women in sim racing, and I really hope she does go places in her lifetime. But anyway, at the moment we are looking at Hopkins up into 4th place. I don't know how that's happened, but Hopkins displaying extremely great pace. 3 seconds to 3rd, so that might be a bit of an ask considering the pace of the cars that we have before us. But Oliveira will be looking to try and get that back.
Indeed, seeing as Hopkins was on the back of Juan Gramaja at one point, battling with him, and 4th place has come as a result of Luka Kasala disconnected, and he has said in the chat, I'll count that as P3, but I got to go.
Well, it's not going to count as P3 for us, and that's where it matters the most. If you can't convince the commentator, you can't convince yourself, as far as I'm concerned. Another lap passes, and we have had 9 laps under 6 minutes to go. And now there is a battle forming up ahead, I believe. Hopkins is now starting to be caught by Oliveira. It's now half a second between them. That is for the 4th place. I thought it was for the final podium spot, but correct myself eventually. And at the moment, Oliveira, the Portuguese driver, looking like he might still be a threat. But of course, as soon as Oliveira overtakes, Hopkins will have the slipstream. So Oliveira needs to be a bit careful as to how he plans his overtake. Of course, if Hopkins makes a mistake, then that's just easy pickings. We'll see how that develops, though. But we have a battle forming, and this is between General Dumas and Justin, Matt.
We have an even closer battle between Taskinity and Isa Metza. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Taskinity is going to go down the inside into turn number 1. Gets the car stopped just in time, makes his move by 16. We know the pace that Taskinity was able to do in qualifying earlier, and it's quite quick. And those cheap, affordable cars are giving us some very good racing.
Alright, it was funny the first time, and it's going to be funny every single time. But anyway, I'm focusing still on this battle for 4th, and Oliveira, I think, is just taking it easy. Sarah Mulfatova is 2 seconds away from this battle, so he does need to be careful and plan his overtake appropriate. Should be about 4 or 5 laps to go at the line, as the leader has crossed it earlier on. Already going through 130R, now coming into the double right-hander. Turns 2 and 3 there, and Marquez has just
Oliveira around the outside of 130R is gonna try to make a move. Hopkins keeps to the inside. They both run very wide with one another. Oliveira, not being left in the room, has the inside for the next corner, is ahead by Carl Lake. A little bit of door bang, wheel banging. Hopkins cuts back and has the inside. Now Oliveira with the car back, and Hopkins rides very wide. Oh, he keeps the control of the car somehow. Oliveira side by side. Now we take this into the Degnes. Degna 1, who's coming out on top? Oh, and it's going to be Oliveira. Actually, it's going to be Sarah who comes out on top. Look how much closer she is, up to P5. Hopkins down to P6. And now Sarah's going to have a much, much better line, less dirtier tires than Oliveira, and looking for 4th place there.
I just want to say as well, Justin forced General Dumbass ride earlier on, so General Dumbass now down to 9th, and he was trying to get involved with this, but it just hasn't worked out. So now down to 9th as it stands right now. So Sarah Morfitova all the way up into 4th. Livingston and Brett Meyer swapping places for 13th and 14th, but Brett Meyer's made a mistake through the Degners, and he's just getting back underway right now. So down to 15th for Brett Meyer. But focusing up into the top 10 battles, it is currently all line astern and close together, as now Matthews making a move on General Dumbass. Dumbass dropping like a stone to water. It has been a really unfortunate second half of the race for him, and with under 3 minutes to go, down to 10th, Matt.
Indeed, General Dumbass was a little bit of a, I would say, what's the word? Oxymoron there, of course. He's been driven quite intelligently throughout the first three-quarters of the race, is only now succumbing to the drivers behind him, especially given how he was able to avoid the...
Oh no!
Who do we have?
Goes deep into turn 2, and that allows Sarah Morfitova up into 4th there. Anyway, and Oliveira now struggling. Those tyres are overheated. He is now vulnerable to Hopkins, who he was battling with earlier. Sorry to have cut over you there, Matt. Just thought, well, anyway, but 2 minutes to go. Sarah Morfitova up into 4th, Matt.
It is up into top. We have Brett Meyer on Livingston into the final corner. We have quite the battle for P5 happening. We have Hopkins, Justin, Jan Tepka just behind. Oh, Sarah Morfitova not as far ahead on the track as the live timings may have you to believe. But as you can see, that battle for 6th place between Justin and Hopkins. Hopkins was running as high as 4th place at some point. It's just towards the end of the race, just falling back. We have 2 more laps remaining as Mirko Merlo comes across the start finish over 1:34. Marquez not making as much progress, just a 10th on that one lap. He's still 1.5 seconds behind. Did cut that lap from they had that gap from 3 to 1.5, but just 2 more laps remaining. I don't think there's a chance.
Yeah, no, 2 laps remaining, I think, but I think it's going to be very tight regardless. So this could easily be the last lap. Sarah Morfitova there with a 1:30.9 and a second and a half faster than Martin Oliveira behind. So now Morfitova beginning to increase that gap.
Contact!
Oh no!
Contact between Hopkins and Roland Justin. Roland Justin gets sent into the shadow realm. Oh, for a driver who was going so well, climbing up the field, is on the receiving end once again as Pasquetti has to take evasive actions. He keeps it in control somehow. Another driver is Ike Marve, who has benefited from this. Pasquetti into top 10. Roland Justin, he will be outside of the reverse grid, I think.
I think he will as well, but I still can't get any confirmation of that. If somebody could confirm that sooner rather than later, that would be nice. But at the moment, Roland Justin down to 12th, and this might, of course, leave him outside the top. Oh, wow, he's making a move on Ika Marava here for 11th place. Marava, of course, on a better line, but look, there's somebody who's made a mistake up ahead. Who is that? Oh, that's Anno there being lapped. My apologies there. Anno was a sandwich in the middle of a 12th and 11th battle, and here we go. Just into the
Ika Marava was oversteer. So Ika Marava was oversteering almost into Roland Justin. Was just able to lean slightly. Roland Justin makes his way by.
Indeed there, and of course they did my touch, but it doesn't matter. They will continue on, and now Justin chasing Pasquetti, but I think we've had this is the last. We've got another lap for some of the cars, so now we are on our final lap. Of course, now there's a lap car for the leader to deal with. That might lose him a bit of time. Can Marquez deal with it efficiently? If he can, then that would gain him about 2 tenths, but no, the lap car remains in Marquez's way.
In fact, yeah, just before the Degness. Oh, that's a unfortunate timing for Peter. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Miranda has to go outside. Manages to stay out of the way, so well done for the Miranda for respecting the blue flags in a good way. As Ike Marva and Justin continue battling, but I think that is going to be seal the deal for Mirko Melo there.
I believe so as well. Let's see, I'm trying to find another close battle here. Temka is trying to catch Hopkins here, and this is only for 6th place, and wow, they're going as wide as they possibly dare. Nearly losing the rear end was Temka.
Let's speak of losing, look at Roland Justin thinking this is Formula D and not Legends, just drifting around the Degna and still gaining time on Pasquetti.
Indeed, Roland Justin absolutely rigging the neck of the car to exploit as much pace as he possibly can. And now Ikamarova trying to go down the inside. Very similar to what Justin did, but I believe, there you go, the leader has crossed the line. The top two have now been confirmed. Merlot and Marquez. Merlot taking another win in today's event. Wagwamards will come across the line eventually in third, and then a few seconds behind will be Sarah Morfitova. But at the moment, we need to keep an eye, as Hopkins did extend that gap to 1 there. So that is all settled down. Matthews will come home in 8th. Then
we're going to get dragged to the line. Sorry, we're going to get dragged to the line between Roland Justin and Paschetti. 10th of a second ahead. They're going to go drag to the line. Will it come quick enough for Paschetti? Go, just half a 10 between them. Who's going to go first? It is Paschetti by just 769. Nice. Fastest of a second. Finishes ahead of Roland Justin.
Indeed, Stevenson comes home 13th, Ikamarova 12th. Now Brett Meyer will also come home 14th. I'm trying to find another battle. Fox there is in trying to pass Tusknitty there for 15th, but Fox not close enough, so it will be Tusknitty in 15th. Then Livingston will come home 16th. Livingston 17th, Fox 16th. Is Iso Metza in 18th, Arno 19th, Iriashi 20th eventually, and Anno will be somewhere in there. Let's see, yikes, I hope they didn't have a strong wheels, says a new chatter.
Oh yeah.
I think that is. I don't know if I've said that correctly though.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I believe Hopkins is on the controller, so I don't think that's going to break his wrist.
Thank goodness. But there you go, and there you go, Iriashi across the line, and I believe we need to take our leave of the server for the time being while we reset.
Indeed.
All right then, there you go, and Nick's sending the love, but that was some more great racing, and the legends proving to be very entertaining, and it reminded me, right, of when I went to, I think it was the classic Super Tours.
Hang on, Dave. Now it's time for story time with Dave.
I like how we've got like a little segment for that now. But story time with Dave. So it reminded me of when I went to the classic Super Tours meet in Donington, which was earlier this year, and there was Mini Coopers going around, and it was a very similar setup to the Ford Legends racing, and it just those cars were so tiny and nimble. It was very easy to go pretty wide with each other, and that just reminded me of that. And it was just such entertaining racing. They may not be the most powerful machines in the world, and maybe some of the slowest, but the racing it provides, you can't really argue with it, Matt, can you?
No, you really can't. And the Legends so far have been my favorite of the day. I'm so sorry to every single Abba community, but those Legends, well, you have just seen, they have provided some amazing action with one another. So much fun to watch them. And also, I did invite you to Donington and you didn't come.
Shut up. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this.
Every single time, Dave, I try to put the effort. And you just have an excuse every single time.
I'm working and I have things to do.
It's always work. Have you ever thought about the kids at home?
I don't have any. And if I'm going to have any, it's going to be in America. But anyway, that's a different story for a different time, guys. Anyway, we have got some more action to come. We've got another Legends Ford race, and then after that, we will be concluding with, well, I say concluding, but then it's the Formula Masters for Over the Limit, and then the GT500s, where you will, you'll be seeing me back with 5 other people. So that is going to be a very interesting end to the day, and I personally can't wait for it, but I'll need food in the meantime. So give me a bit of time and notice, okay?
Okay, so you're going to have Formula Masters to eat, and then we're gonna have five races.
Brilliant, I can't wait for it. So now we are just waiting for the server to restart for race number 2 of the Legends. And now, well, let's see. We've got to come up with some filler, Matt. What shall we do? Filler.
What do you mean for filler? I have the exact time. I'm not sure how long the server is going to restart is going to take. There is another race indeed, so we have 15 minutes. What should we do with the filler? I mean, we could always sing the Leleman song somehow with the maybe give it to the Suzuka. Oh, we already have do we have the server? I believe we do. We have the second server has been started, so let's get back into it as quickly as we can.
Indeed, and so now we have part 2 of the Legends race. Now, of course, it is a reverse grid. I still don't know who is going to be where. That's something that we need answering. So, of course, it
Now
was...
that reminds me of when we go racing every single time, because we don't know where we start for race number 3 until like 5 minutes before we go racing. So we'll be working on our car, getting it to the pits, and now, oh yeah, by the way, you're starting 5th. Like what? When? Oh, okay.
Exactly. Wait, what? Can I hear music?
No, I think it's you. I don't hear music.
It must be me.
Yeah, well, Dave is going insane just for that one race, and
Oh,
to be honest, I thought I
okay.
was already 2 racing done. That's how much action I saw there. I was like, it was so. The time went such a weird fashion that I thought we already done 2 races of these things, but no, it's just race 1. So be excited for a second part of this.
Right, so all it was there was an advert played because Pescetti has integrated his Twitch into the live timing page. So that's what that was. So we've got that all figured out, thank goodness. So it wasn't me going insane. It was genuine.
There you go. I didn't know that.
That's all I'm hearing right now.
Do you know what? Dave? I'm gonna get the divorce papers in a minute.
Wait a minute, talk to my fiance first. Anyway, here we go. The race is 3 minutes away, and why am I on the pit exit? Why do I have to be on the pit exit? Where are you?
I'm on the pit entrance.
Flipping heck. Okay. Any divorces in chat? Oh, by the way, it's still your live timing screen as far as I can see. No, live timing? No. What I mean is your timetable. There you go. Flipping heck.
Yes, but I quickly need to change. Any divorces in chat?
No, says something stochastic. Crashes through the roof. Apparently. Oh, yes. Pescetti is actually in VR for this event, I do believe.
Oh, really?
Well.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
just a bit of info for you. I think, and also somebody else was in VR earlier on. I caught that on Anno's stream.
You have chosen such an interesting series to be in VR, considering how many angry bees are flying by you.
Indeed. But it is Jacob Matthews on pole, but it's going to be round Suzuka West, so we don't need to worry about the snake section. We don't need to worry about Dunlop. It is just 130R, then the Degners. So no, you do need to worry about the Degners. Then it's the hairpin, spoon curve, and the back stretch. So on this West circuit, we are cutting the east side of it off. Now, if you had to choose, Matt, east or west for Suzuka?
West.
Easily, yes. West would be my answer too. If you're going to say east for Gran Turismo's sake, I'd be like, wrong answer, but I'd understand that. I don't think the West actually features much.
No, the West has been abandoned. The West layout has been abandoned. It no longer hosts races, and it has been like that for a couple of years.
Well, I didn't know that, so that's something fun for me. But obviously still used in the Grand Prix circuits for Super Formula, Super GT, and of course Formula 1.
And it's used here in the Summer Sim Racing Festival 2024 in support of SpecialEffect. Make sure to hit that donate link and let's smash that goal even more. Raise as much money for SpecialEffect to be able to so they can create as many special rigs for people who are not as fortunate as us to be able to enjoy what we are doing here today. So make sure to donate there.
Exactly, and I think it's a very touching charity. It's what I like to say is it's giving people a chance who wouldn't have gotten a chance if it wasn't for somebody thinking of somebody else. So a great charity that you are donating towards. If anybody does so, we have surpassed our goal, but we would like to just raise that little bit more. So if you can find it in your hearts and find, of course, the spare cash to donate, we will, well, everybody here will appreciate it. But we have another race to go. So it's race number 2 of the Ford Legends. Jacob Matthews on pole, Temka in second, and Hopkins in third. We have 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights. Take 2 in the West, and it is a good start by Temka there, but Jacob Matthews just about equal to it. Hopkins coming out of the woodwork here, it looking like he is round the outside. Somebody was starting from the pit lane there from what I could see. Jab Temka though looking to the inside through 130R as everybody begins to file themselves out, holds it beautifully. Does Matthews Hopkins?
Oh, contact in the back! Contact in the back. I think that's Skinnity that's been involved in that contact as everyone files their way through. We have a few more spins. We have a repeat of race 1. Big car park, big maze happening. Oh, drivers trying to make their way up and down the field. Who
Oh
is that?
dear.
That's Miranda. So
Marquez has been turned around 3 or 4 times now. Jacob Matthews as well had to wait for everybody to go around. But what were you saying, Matt? Sorry about that.
is now we have Hopkins up in the lead, so we have a repeat of race 1 and a little bit of a car park in the start. This is exactly kind of what we expect with the horde of angry bees barreling into turn number 2, the first proper braking zone. Hopkins manages to give himself a 1 second lead at the start. Let's see if he's able to maintain it. We have Mirko Merlo down in P8, very closely by. Taskinity was on the receiving end through 130R that we have seen. This little squabble has allowed him to bring himself back.
Marava. Yeah, Marava went airborne for 2 seconds there. Through 130R. Oh, somebody's rage quit already. That was Juan Gramage there. But I couldn't see why Ikamarova went airborne there. That was only through 200R even, I should say. My apologies. And, well, he was sideways, but got it back altogether. Saved the car from going into the barrier. And he continues on, but down in 9th. But now we are seeing Anno involved in a battle for 11th. Of course, he was
spins up and down. We had a managed break, man. I believe that's Fox who span around. Not sure whether that has been on his own accord or assisted, but Fox is being gone from 12th place down to 18th at the moment. Miranda is spun around again, and what is happening up and down the field? We have Merlo pressuring Justin for 5th place. Justin, who was a little bit right towards the end of the race and knocked out of his position, is getting his 5th place taken away from him after surviving the race start.
Indeed, and guess what as well? Miranda losing it on their own through the deck, but Marava now down 2 positions, really struggling this time around with these Legends cars. Wasn't really with us in the first race, and in the second race he is dropping down the grid. And at the moment is just trying to hold on to, well, for dear life in this case.
Marva has been involved quite substantially in our first race, as we saw. Juan Gramash has disconnected due to his internet, not to cause more chaos. So that's not rage quit, that is safety in thinking of other drivers' safety. So very sorry, Juan. Would have loved to see you racing, but thank you for choosing the safer option. As Martin Oliveira retakes 1st place from Hopkins.
I was just about to say that, and I do apologise if I misremembered Ika Marava's involvement in race 1 there. Just sometimes a lot happens and just something slipped from my mind. It usually helps if I take notes, you know.
A lot. Don't worry, I thought we already done race 2, but we only just started race 2.
Okay, all right then. So at least commentators' curse is being shared by one another. But Sarah Mulfatova is the one I'm going to be looking out for this time around. But now Temka as well. Jan Temka round the outside of Hopkins, round 130R. Here we go. They nearly touch, but they keep it respectful and clean, more importantly. And now Jan Temka has the inside into the double right-hander, and it's all said and done. But Sarah Mulfatova, under pressure from Merlo there, loses 4th, and Merlo makes the move. Well done to him. Merlo also making progress, and now we have a 5-car battle. Well, 6-car, sorry, for the race lead, Matt.
Indeed, so we're going to have quite of them coming down, but Martin Oliveira is extending that gap to Jan Temka behind Hopkins, just trying to retake that 2nd place. He's within slipstream of Jan Temka into the hairpin. Let's see if he makes a move. We do have quite a few cars down below. Hopkins trying late in the break. Jan Temka taking the wider line. Who is that? That's Merlo in the walls.
Tagged by Sarah Mulfatova of all people, is spun round. Obviously not intentional, but just caught the back, caught the angle of the back, and that had just sent Merlo round. So now he will has 6 seconds to make up, or 3 seconds in reality.
Speaking of racing, General Damas, our favorite race driver, is back pressuring Paschetti for P number 8.
Indeed he is. 4 tenths between them, between Paschetti and Adomas here in the West Circuit. Oh, and look at that, Iso Metza just getting it wrong on the exit of Spoon there, so that might leave them vulnerable to these two behind, but a bit of a ways to go. But here we go, General Damas looking to the outside of 130R. How many times have we seen this been pulled off successfully? It is epic to watch as many times as we see it, and there you go there. What a move, but too far wide, just drifted a bit far out, but it didn't matter in the end. I think it has been done, I hope it, well, at least I think it's been done. I don't want to look too silly, but there you go, the inside for the double right-hander. Paschetti trying to hold it, but that's grass, my guy.
Oh, contact between him and Livingstone. Paschetti just getting a little bit out of shape coming out of that turn number 2. Hashtag Livingstone, and that's allowed Ike Amarova to get by Livingstone. Paschetti retakes that keeps ninth place for now, that will be under pressure from the two behind him.
And just Diesel TTV saying, for someone named Dumbass, they are a very smart racer. They certainly are. But now look at this coming into the hairpin. Paschetti under pressure from Max Livingston has got that done. Now can Maverick get it as a Paschetti gets that all sorts of wrong on the exit. So now he's vulnerable because Marva will have the slipstream. But can Paschetti use the slipstream of Livingston to maybe keep his position? No, because Marva will have the inside coming through to Spoon, so now he needs to think about keeping that outside line as optimal as possible, but no, just has a bit too much of a wriggly rear end and sadly has to concede for the time being. Sarah Wolfatova now battling for third place as well, Matt, and gets past Hopkins.
Indeed, so Sarah Wolfatova there with a good move. Hopkins going to try and down the inside of the... Ooh, Sarah, maybe a little bit panicky from Hopkins there. Somehow manages to keep it pointing there. We still have the battle between Ikemarov and Paschetti as they try to make a free wide into 130R.
3 wide into 130R very rarely works, and now I'm trying to keep up with it. The timing graphic is just glitching at the moment. It's saying Justin is in the lead. That is of course not the case. He is down.
Paschetti with a very tight line into turn number 2. Sorry to cut you off. Tries to use that. Ooh, and again wild on the exit. Just gets too zealous on the throttle. Is now dropping back and is going to be into the hands of Taskinity.
Brett Meyer and Marquez were just doing...
Oh, Roland, look, hang on, hold back, go back to the battle for 4th place. We have Roland Justin Hopkins and Roland Justin being forced right on the grass on the inside of the hairpin.
Indeed it is. So now for 4th place is going to be Roland Justin outside of 200R, but now coming through to Spoon. That will become the inside line, but he doesn't need the corner. Hopkins has been passed, and now Hopkins trying to come back into Spoon. Wasn't going to be very likely. You would have had a Vettel and Verstappen moment there if you'd have tried that, but no, that's a mistake from Justin. Oh, they made contact. They've spun out. Oh, well, no, it's just Hopkins, but now Merlot moves into the middle and is now going to do a buy one, get one free deal, and he is up into 4th, but Roland Justin is not giving that up just yet. He's got the traction at the very least out the corner somehow, as Iriashi is disconnected from the server now, so they've rage quit for one reason or another. And now Merlot with the inside, but Justin very wide, liberating with the track limits there. But that should be Merlot with the traction, and Oliveira, I think there's been a swap lead. No, there hasn't. Never mind, my bad. But anyway, that is now Merlot trying to get past Hopkins. Well, Justin, I should say, sorry, but Justin got back past there. So that's all said and done, and now it's Merlot to the inside through Degner. How has he done that? My words, and now Justin with the cutback. How are they still pointing the right direction? Merlot forced wide, and that forces Hopkins through. My words, great racing there, Matt.
And it has been some phenomenal racing. We had prime view from the hood of Hopkins' car as he make his way past Mirko Merlo. This is not the last we will see of them, and I think this battle might go on for quite a while as Marquez is trying to make his way by Taskinity to try and recover back to where he was, or where he thinks he definitely should be, battling for that race win.
Tuscanelli there having to concede there, didn't have the traction at Spoon there, just used the inside line, but Marquez utilising that outside for better traction. Just to mention Marquez earlier, he got past Brett Meyer earlier on for 5th, for 14th, but obviously that now doesn't really matter. We've well past that, and now looking at the battle outside of the top 5 here. We've got one for, well, I would say 7th, but then Hopkins is now being overtaken by Merlot, Matt.
Indeed, and he will have the slipstream going into 130R, but will it be enough to overcome the speed difference? It is. Will he be enough overlap in going into it? Oh, just barely. I think he will be forced to concede the place and try and keep it. Switches back to the outside for turn number 2. Under braking, can he do a switchback? A very popular maneuver into turn 2. Oh, very sideways for Hopkins. Not sure what happened there for a sweet few moments, but Hopkins has been tried to do a catback maneuver and hasn't worked on Merlo. Merlo now has 1.2 second gap to make up to Roland Justin. Sarah Mulfatova has been making slow inroads onto the back of Jan Temkas. Ike Marva now attempts a move onto Isometsa for the 10th place.
A lot of battles happening all around in the background of all of this.
Isometsa spins, allowing Ike Marva through. There's so much action, I can't keep up with what's going on.
I don't think any of us can keep up because now Fox has made their way up into 14th place, of course, benefiting from Isomet's spin. And now Fox, with great momentum out of the Degners, gets the move done, and that's 14th place. But Temka as well is catching the leader in 1.2 seconds separate first and second now. So it looks like this battle is starting to come down, and Sarah Mulfatova, as you said as well, making slow inroads on the top two as well. So she should be involved with this. Look, she is 4/10 faster than the leader, 3/10 faster than second. She is on a roll right now in third position, looking like she will win. But at the moment, who is the closest battle as it stands?
I think we have our favourite General Damas with Max Livingston.
It looks like we do. General Damas currently in 7th position. Max Livingston 8th. Max looking to try and make a move under 8, well, just over 8.5 minutes to go now. And we are still, well, we are looking at battles which are going to come down to a very exciting end. Half a second between second and third, and surely if Sarah Mulfatova can get this done quickly, she will be on for the race win. Merlot and Justin, of course, they are going to try.
Oh, look at the gap between Sarah and Jan Tepka, down to 3/10 now. Slipstream difference, slipstream range. Yeah, if she can get very close on the exit of the hairpin, put the power down, she will have a good run through spoons, if not through 130R.
Indeed, and now Sarah, as you say, with the slipstream, and we are focusing on the battle for second for the time being. Oliveira has done a great job to hold Temka off, but if Temka is swallowed up by Sarah, then Oliveira's gonna have a new problem, and he has led all of this race as Merlot's now made the move for fourth, but that's round the outside at Spoon. So Justin gets that back almost as soon as he lost it. But now with the exit through Spoon, what can Merlot do? He'll have the slipstream here, but now there's a bit of a mistake there from Justin. He's going to lose that for sure.
Oh, we see some proper legends racing now. Sarah Mulfatova giving a bump trap to Jan Temka, and that cuts the lead down to 8/10 for the lead. So Sarah Mulfatova driving these cars the way God intended.
And indeed, Sarah knows what she's doing, so I would imagine that that is a tactic to make sure that she doesn't actually spend too much time fighting with Jan, but rather bring bring 2 cars into the equation for the lead rather than one. And then take it from there and just pick things off if any mistakes happen. She has 7 minutes to go, so time is a little bit against her, but not impossible at these gaps. Merlot making that move is now starting to build a cushion to Justin behind.
Oh, Sarah is looking for a hairpin move. She helped it once, but she's thinking now, okay, let's see if I can make a move, and maybe if Jan can give me a slipstream battle, slipstream bump draft, going next into the final hair straight next, we could really catch Oliveira.
Well, Jan Temka is not playing ball. They are finding the outside line coming through to Spoon. This is not what Sarah would have wanted. She will have wanted Jan to once again. They make contact there. They touch very briefly. And now that on the exit of Spoon, Sarah holds firm for now. But will Jan now play ball with the bump drafting? Let's keep an eye on this for the time being while other battles are happening around us. Yeah, not close enough. Marquez up into 10th, round the outside of Mariva there. So that has just
there is. They're playing ball. Jan Tepka's playing ball.
There we go. So Sarah has evidently communicated what she wants from Jan, and Jan is playing ball as Pescetti has made a mistake, and that is on Spoon. So he's down to 14th now. Unlucky. He looked like he was having a great race, but it's all become undone as now Mariva gets back past Marquez for 10th now. So that is also happening as we're watching this. Marquez up in 10th. Well, no, it should be, yeah, Marquez up in 10th now. There you go, whatever. Anyway,
Fox trying to make his way by Tuscanity into turn number 1. He's going to try and look for the cat bag. A very popular move with these guys, it seems, and Fox very wonders if he can pull it off. But Tuscanity wise to that move, covers that inside line to not allow a cat bag move to happen to him this time around.
Sarah Mulfatova is starting to lose touch to the leader with 5 minutes to go. The gap has increased from under a second to 1.6 seconds, so Oliveira doing enough to hold firm for now. But now as Sarah begins to increase that cushion to Temka behind even, my apologies, she will probably now start thinking, well, it's now all down to me. I've got to do this myself.
Ooh, good cap back move by Fox on Tuscanity, puts himself up to 12th place. Tuscanity just behind. He's gonna have a slipstream, so they will have a good run into Spoons. But I do wonder if you want to stay behind for a good move down to 130R.
Well, let's see what they do. But at the moment now, as soon as I said that Sarah Mulfitova was beginning to lose touch to the leader, she has brought that gap down in a couple of corners to 1.2 seconds. So Sarah's still on the pace there, proving me wrong at the very least. And Roland Justin still in touch with Merlot for 4th there. So very much Merlot and Justin coming into a race of their own. And Justin was, oh wow, losing the rear end there on the exit of turn number 3. Now they will go through to the Degners as they were. But now Sarah, the lead battle is coming down to under a second, Matt.
Indeed, so I reckon we have 3 whole minutes left, 3 laps. I'd say maybe around, looking around that, 3 laps remaining. For Sarah Mulfitova to try and bring the gap down. Not out of the question, not impossible. It will certainly come down to the wire.
Definitely, for sure. Sarah, of course, has proven herself to be quick in multiple race disciplines and is proving it yet again. In this one, Assetto Corsa is a game she has just gelled with from pretty much, well, from...
Ooh, Marquez selling a dummy for General Damas as he falls for the oldest play in the book. Marquez now side by side with General Damas. Through 200 on the inside for General Damas. He's going to get the slipstream going into the Spoon curve and will try and make a move again. Side by side. Does he have the speed advantage? He does. And who's going to end up ahead, coming out? Turn 1 goes to Marquez, but General Damas may be able to get a better line as Marquez gets a little bit out of shape. He will have the slipstream. Very wide on the exit for Marquez. General Damas keeps it nice and clean. He's going to have a good overspeed, a good slipstream. Let's ride on board with General Damas and see if he can make a move down to turn 1, 130R. He's alongside, and who's going to brave it out best? Oh, it looks like Marquez with a better line through it manages to keep ahead. The fight's not over yet. Going into the next corner, the battle for the lead is just beginning as Sarah Mulfitova goes on the back of our leader, Martin Oliveira.
There you go. So now it's underneath 2:10. Martin Oliveira led all of this race, but now Sarah with the inside here. She has got that done sooner rather than later. And now side by side between Oliveira and Sarah Mulfitova. Who's going to win out for now through 200R? It's
General Damas is in the gravel. General Damas is in the gravel. Probably a little bit get together, maybe. Who knows? But he has plummeted all the way from where he was running very nicely. Down the order, Sarah side by side through the Spoons, has the inside for both corners. Oliveira will try and hang around the outside, maybe do a little bit cutback. He will have the slipstream, so he may still have the advantage. Ooh, as we come across the start-finish line, we will have 2 more laps of racing. So there's 2 more laps for these two to duke it out.
2 more laps indeed, and here we go. Martin Oliveira to the outside, approaching 130R. Who's going to win out yet again? It won't be the last time these two do battle. There is nothing to separate them at all. The gap is down to 0-0-0. And now it is Mulfitova with the inside line winning out for now. But this battle is not over yet. And look, Temka is also being brought into this with these two going side by side. No surprises there. So maybe Temka will have a chance at the lead before this is all over, and Sarah would welcome with Temka at the very least trying to battle with Oliveira and those two getting together, but a long way to go for Temka just yet, and Oliveira not giving this up, and he doesn't need to really. Under a minute to go, so we'll see if we get to the line with time remaining into the hairpin. Will Oliveira do what Sarah did to him? Yes, he will, but not successfully. Sarah using that outside line for the traction, but Oliveira not giving that up. They nearly touch again, Matt, and it's all still a line astern with Mulfitova in the lead as Damas in the wall again.
That's such a funny line to say. It's never going to be not fun to say. So we have side by side going into Spoons curve. Oliveira on the outside. Sarah keeps the inside line. That's how she managed to get by Martin Oliveira around the round. First time around, Oliveira, can he get a better exit though? Goes a little bit wider to try and turn in earlier. Get on the throttle. Has the slipstream. Will have the overspeed.
I think we've run out of time. This is the last lap.
No, there's one more lap. There's going to be one more lap. There's another lap happening.
Oh, okay, there's one more lap, so we are treated to an absolute spectacle. There's contact between Oliveira and Monfort. Here we go, the gap goes down to 0-0-0 again, and it's Oliveira ahead at the apex at the very least, and Oliveira will now get the inside coming into turn number 2. Temka still not being able to
More
catch us.
contact.
Oh, there's contact between them. Oh my words, and Oliveira and Sarah Monfort putting on a show for all of you to end the Legends for 2 races of action, and it comes down to the last lap, Matt.
Indeed, it comes to the last lap, side by side through the Degner. Sarah hangs back for the second Degner. A good strategic move. She's going to have the run into this hairpin with a better line, but Oliveira keeps the inside line. Is not allowing Sarah to do what she did to him a couple of laps ago. But Sarah will have the outside line, and through the hairpin, it seemed to be like the better line to get yourself a much better exit speed. But it looks like Mufatova has the better exit. Martin has to concede. This will go down to the wire. Oh, Sarah runs a little bit wide, allowing Martin Oliveira a run down the inside. That could be strategic to line herself up for an inside move through the spoons.
Well, we'll see how that all plays out. There's a spin. Oh no, is this going to affect the battle for the lead? I think it. Oh, he just keep out of the way in time. But Oliveira now needs the slipstream. He needs the slipstream from Emmett to get his way back past Monfort. Here we go. It's going to come down to the very last moment on the line. It's Monfort in race 2 for the Ford.
Monfort for race 2. What a race that has been dragged to the line. Just a tenth ahead. If that start-finish line was just a little bit further, I think Oliveira may have just had it. Jan Temka secures P3. Martin Mirko Merlo takes on P4. Roland Justin recovers to P5. Great racing. Hopkins takes P6. What a good race for the controller, for the driver on the controller. Max Livingston takes P7. Jacob Matthews in P8. Marquez with a great recovery up to P9. Ike Maravei takes on P10. Fox is going to come across the finish line in P11. Taskinity will come across P12. Mateusz Breitmeier is coming across P13, but just 1 second behind him is Paschetti, the person who's been organizing these absolutely phenomenal Ford Legends. General Damas, our favorite driver, comes across P15. Isa Metza will take P16, and Miranda will take P17.
Well, a huge congratulations to Sarah Monfort taking her first win of the day in the Summer Sim Racing Festival in the Ford Legends, and what a race. A huge thank you to the Burb League for putting this on for us, and a huge thank you to all the drivers that have taken part. But I think it is now time for me to take my leave for the time being, and I will see you all a bit later. So Matt, thank you for having me. I'll see you later on.
Indeed, that was a fantastic phenomenon, and thank you so much, Dave, for coming here today. And I certainly hope to see you for the GT500, where we will all be having a party here. Right, so we are now back, and for this next race, for the double header of OTL, we'll be welcoming back Luca, who has been a phenomenal commentator this morning, and hopefully we were going to have a party with him, Dave, and Van for the last race at LPR. Hello, Luca, how are you doing?
I'm doing spectacular. That break really was needed, and I just saw this race, the Ford Masters, and it was incredible. Ford Legends was incredible, and I can't wait to see what now with the Formula Masters can be brought here today.
Oh, certainly, the Formula Masters have an extremely high bar to reach. Those Ford Legends have just proven such an amazing spectacle. So far, they have been my favorite to witness. They've been my favorite in the qualifying, and they've been my favorite so far. Honestly, I am not sure the GT500 from LPR represent. They'll be able to beat it, but that was certainly an amazing spectacle. So let's see if we can bring an interviewer in, because somebody wants to get an interview before we get racing next time. Hopkins, that was reverse grip. You were leading for a little bit of that race in the race too. That was some phenomenal control from you, especially in the control. You've done some really good racing in those Legends.
Absolutely, holy shit! You do not believe. After the V8 Supercars race, I was suddenly called off by my dad to help him with something, and he was very adamant that I go help him. So I ended up missing the IndyCar races. But after I was done with that, I made it just in time for the Ford Legends races. Oh my god, I returned with a level of motivation and hope that I had never seen from myself before. It was wonderful. See, this is what I mean when I say finish strong. Yes,
Indeed, and
unfortunately,
these guys I've just provided, they've set such a
yeah,
high bar for the remaining 2 races, and I am honestly very afraid that the GT500 will not be able to live to the hype of being a final event. This kind of hype is definitely something that you find out that you say for the very last event. So we have big shoes to
yeah,
fill, and honestly, I don't think we'll be able to
absolutely.
live up to it.
I agree. I'm definitely looking forward to the GT500 race. It'll be like 1 30-minute race, right?
Yeah, it'll
Something like
be
that.
24 laps, so about 40 minutes.
24. How many? Sorry.
About 45 minutes, including a pit stop.
All right. Okay, so pit strategy, right? So this, I feel like, I will say this wasn't the cleanest race. I did have a few incidents, and I was also caught up in one once. Unfortunately, I believe this was with the guy from Arrow Autosport. I can't remember his name, which unfortunately set me back a bit. But I am honestly impressed by myself with about the level of determination and focus with which I was able to just go through it like ain't nothing, like, no, ain't nothing stopping the A train. It was it was so awesome, right? And
Indeed.
as always, I was accompanied by none other than my trusty friend Jim and Claire, or my crew chief and my spotter. The app. Races are really never the same without crew chief. But yeah, that was awesome,
Very helpful.
and I just really want to say, get Timber Lewis, or Rainer Sebastian. That was awesome.
Indeed,
I'm-
as we have now the Formula Masters to go. Thank you so much, Hopkins. Are you partaking in Formula Masters?
Of course, I'm partaking everywhere.
So
I just didn't get to, I just didn't get to race and be in the cars because I got caught away. But yeah, I definitely think that after the many misadventures that I had in the past races, this was one hell of a redemption. I have to say.
it certainly has been, and a Godspeed to you doing all of the events. I know you and a couple of others are doing it, so I certainly enjoy yourself, and we will let you get back to racing, and we will maybe see you after the entire event is over. Whoever wants to have
Absolutely.
interviews.
But stay frosty.
So, end the event in a bang, as being said. Goodbye.
Indeed.
And now to the OTL race. It's about to start, isn't it?
Indeed, the OTL race is about to start. We have a little bit of a free practice. I need to change my post-processing filter because a few things have been going a little bit weird. There we go, that should fix it for now. Put it up here. Let me just quickly change the graphics. So we have a 3.5 minutes of free practice session. Thank you to Taz for the raid. Thank you for Lada Dude for the raid. And thank you for Paschetti for the raid. And thank you so much for streaming this event. Thank you so much for partaking in this event. You guys have been phenomenal here today as well. So big shout out to everybody who's been streaming. If you're in our Discord server, I have tried to pin every single one of the Twitch channel. Make sure to give them a follow because they certainly deserve your love as much as we do here as well. So everyone, go to every single one of those people and just post your Twitches in here. Just give them all a warm welcome and say thank you for being part of this amazing event. But as we said back, I need to quickly change this from quali to race 1, and as we settle that up, we transition to the stage. And hope you don't mind, Luca, I have to go grab more drinks because I'm not sure if you can tell by my voice, I think my vocal cords are going.
It's very understandable, but my
Oh,
I can't imagine how you are feeling right now. Great that you've been doing this. It's very understandable you need a quick break now.
Alright, so I will leave you in the capable hands of Luca for this phenomenal event who's seen some good racing as well, so I will be
Stay in
right
the
back.
game so you can show me real quick.
Yes. Here you go.
Right, as we wait for Matt to come back, cars are already on track to get that couple laps in, as well. Obviously it's just about a few minutes before the race starts, and with just 144 minutes remaining in this free practice, you see already a few cars done some laps. Rob has done the lap, Suzuka and Gramage have completed a lap, but we know that only Rob's lap time is what we saw in qualifying with the 220. I believe that's where we're gonna also see the race. Obviously, now this practice session will probably more be used to get used to race settings. Obviously, it being two 20-minute races. You want to be prepared to race those cars and stay in those cars for 20 minutes. Also being said to get one lap more fuel fuel in their car, so even if after the race you don't go to complete stop, as now I believe the server is stopped to get onto the race, to skip a session, and when that will happen, all the cars will line up on the grid for the first race of OTL Formula Masters. As obviously the bar is set very high after that Ford Legends race. It's gonna be epic to see what open wheelers can bring us here with slower open wheelers. The IndyCars and Super Formulas being a bit faster now with slower cars. This is gonna be on par to every driver's um, capabilities, and that's gonna be interesting to see for the 20 minutes where everyone needs to get used to racing those open wheelers together. Then in the second race, I believe that's when we'll actually have the highest action on track. As the server has to be restarted for a bit of an issue. As this time we will see cars are out on track again for the warm-up lap, for the formation lap, I believe this is. Unless this is another free practice. I believe this is another free practice session, so that's after these few minutes, that's when the actual race will begin. As now a few cars already on track. Leclerc, Rob, Arno, Mello, and Marquez. Rob was the only one in the first free practice session to actually bring a competitive lap here in that open session. Now that 3 more minutes, that's about 1.5 minutes of laps worth here. And the track time is very important for each of our drivers, so we're gonna have to see what everyone learns. Obviously, I myself have had experience where in the final few minutes I learned some crucial lines for the race that I haven't used ever in practice or in qualifying, and now is the time to get to know these special lines, and obviously also for heavy car getting used to the this heavy load cell. As this was the livery I was talking about before, the Hopkins livery. He shows his support, his love for Gran Turismo. He was the car I saw before, the Formula Gran Turismo livery, which really fits this car. So I believe that's what the 2004 car was based off of. Smart choice here, and I believe he said it himself. He has shared that livery to 3 of his friends here, so we might see some more cars running that. But now 1 minute 50 remaining before the start of the race.
Right, so we have quite a good grid up here settling up. We have 15 drivers out on track today, so it's just going to shape up like a very good race as well. And I think there might be even more joining throughout the practice, as Isran Stoppa is joining as well.
Yeah, and obviously now there was a bit of an issue with the server restart. We're gonna have to see everyone coming back now and looking for the perfect time to load. As obviously we know that some drivers had issues sadly today as well. Hopefully this time, obviously this time everyone will drive with no issues. As Arno shows us how bad it is. As going side by side through the S's is not very smart, as Arno has contact. I believe we have another server restart here.
Yeah, we may have a server restart, 'cause I think we may have one driver who is being booked on the last minute. So every single time somebody says we can try and get the schedule back on the road, no, it doesn't seem like we can get the schedule back on the road. So I'll have to move the scheduled server start for myself as well a little bit back. It's okay. We've got a little bit of a delay. Has never hurt anyone really.
especially this big of an event, it would be very nice to see no issues, but it's difficult to say that an event like this goes smoothly. To be honest, saying this has gone rather smoothly for a huge event with different servers, and gotta say, just little hiccups doesn't hurt as much as you'd think it would.
Indeed, it has. The only thing it costs us is a little bit of time. We haven't had major hiccups with the servers in terms of like disconnects or drivers having issues. But we had some connection issues that's unfortunately outside of our control. But there has been minimal amount of serious hardware problems.
Yes, now I believe everyone should be fixed. Everything should be set up. And now cars are out again on track with 3 minutes of a free practice. I believe this will be skipped as we have it had already a few minutes out on track, unless, yes, it will be skipping in 20 seconds, so this time it won't be a 3-minute wait until the race starts.
Indeed, we should hopefully go straight into racing. So after this practice session is over, we should have like a quick 90-second wait time, and we'll be right back into racing. I'm pretty certain that Cyanide Racing, as we say here, we got a 5-minute countdown, so we will be waiting for a little bit of countdown. We have a 20-minute race plus 1 lap, as we see quite a few drivers out on track already. So it looks like we have Suzuka Shark on pole position, as Formula Masters have decided to go with a little bit of a different play today. So they decided to reverse the qualifying on race 1. So we have a reverse grid race 1, kind of what they do in Formula 2. Instead of a shorter race and a feature length race, they're both same length, but we will reverse grid top 10 in race 1. So Suzuka Shark will be starting on pole position for Shortcut Blue Shark e-racing. Martin Oliveira will start second. Marquez will start P3. P4 will be for Sacha Letelier. Max Livingston will come P5. Jan Temka is P6. P7 for Sarah Milfetova. John Marcucci on P8. Mirko Merlo in P9 and Juan Ramash on P10. Hopefully there is no grid slots that are missing.
As can't really see, but I've seen here on my live timing that everyone is set up on track, and this is going to be an interesting race. Obviously, with that reverse grid, we know that the faster drivers are starting about mid-point of the grid. So the first laps will be an interesting couple of laps for them trying to cut across the field. But also on Suzuka with Formula cars, a bit difficult to really go past, as these fast, flink cars can go from one side to the other immediately.
Indeed, these are very small and nimble cars, and they should allow for much, well, as we can see just on here, the main start-finish line, you could fit 6 of these line astern, so it could be very inviting to go side by side with someone, given how small these cars are. They're quite on par with the size with Ford Legends, maybe a tad longer rather than wider.
And now about a few more minutes till the race start. Everyone is still still thinking about what type of load fuel they want to go here, as they don't know quite how much fuel these cars do drink, as obviously in qualifying they've ran fast setups, but also again very aggressive. But this time they don't know if they want to go with a fuller fuel or want to go aggressive. So we're gonna see maybe also some drivers going with a little less fuel, but might get some extra lap time. But obviously high risk, high reward. The risk will be greater that they won't actually then arrive till the end.
Indeed, there's a very high risk, high reward happening around here, especially with the cars that I've just been told are very slidey. So it's going to be interesting to see how drivers live with this or drive with this very slidey nature. Certainly very interesting, as we only have 1 minute 30 left. We have out there 17 drivers here today. And let me just double check through live timings whether that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. We have a few drivers out on the way back just due to how the pit stops, the pit garages have been set up. Because they did not set a representative lap time, they'll be starting all the way at the back. So they might be in the good position to avoid all the carnage that could happen in turn 1.
So I think I'm seeing here the first driver to get a sub 2-minute lap time will get a special reward, and it is going to be interesting to see because now there's an extra wager on this race here. We might see some drivers pushing it to the absolute limit, but obviously we also just heard cars are very slidey, and that's going to be awesome to see how the drivers will compare in this first lap, all so close together with a slidey car. Obviously the tires will not be up to temperature yet, but I see the track temperature really hot compared to normal 37 degrees road temperature. Those tires will be hot in about a few seconds, and that's gonna be the issue. After that, you need to be careful to not overheat those tires, so each sliding car might have a disadvantage for the race. As the lights are about to turn off, the lights are on screen now. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light, and 6 lights. It's pedal to the metal. Let's go, go, go. Suzuka Shark already goes for the defensive 5 on the inside. Martin Oliveira is already looking for the slipstream on the outside. It's Marquez trying to keep his line, and towards turn 1 they go. Nearly making a free ride. Suzuka Shark gets his good position, but Martin Oliveira just about cuts off Marquez. Marquez on the inside tries to get position. Behind we see John Marcucci.
Antoine Robb is in the gravel.
Anton Robb has gone wide after turn 2, and now we're going 4 cars going side by side, and John Marcucci has his first slide. Those tires will not be happy after that. And now behind we see also Gramage trying to get past there. And in the front, Suzuka Shark kept his position, and Oliveira defended beautifully.
Oh, there's contact between, I believe that was Juan Gramage involved. He's in the wall, and John Marcucci is involved. There has been a little bit of a 3 into 1 kind of don't go. One goes right, the other one goes left. The guy in the middle is like, well, I'm screwed kind of deal. And so Mufatava moving up. Livingston out of Douglas gets a little bit of gravel on his tires, has to concede, gets under pressure, loses 3 positions, almost 4 positions. And so far, this has been one of the cleanest starts we have had today. Everyone managed to go through turn 1 without hitting another driver. So very much well done to all the drivers with a very slidey car, as one has put it.
We see the slidey car coming in. Ike Marave goes side by side with Dirk. Towards Spoon they go, and this is a corner where going side by side is quite possible, as the cars are tiny. This corner is huge, but also there's Jesper and Stopper going wide and making a freeway with Danny Tutui and Max Livingston. Max backs out of that one, but Danny Tutui nearly loses on the exit because of those warm rear tires. And up ahead, 4th, 2nd place, Martin Oliveira on the outside, Marquez on the inside. Is there going to be an Alonso Schumacher moment here?
No, it's going to be...
Everyone goes wide.
It's going to be a 5 wide moment. Everyone has contact. Who is that in the walls? I think that's Jan Temka, that's Marquez. Everyone going way, way off. Has to cut to the gravel. So we had 5 drivers just completely miss the 130R. And then we have almost 5 drivers going completely missing the Casio Triangle, as it's apparently called, and that propels Sam Mulfetova in such a Letelier into 2nd, 3rd place.
It's now going complete the first lap. The grid will start to swallow up normally. I saw there's a bit of contact between Marquez and Jan Temka. Bit of contact going into turn 1. Jan Marquez tried to keep it there, but didn't quite manage. But now Jan Temka's eyes are up ahead as they took 2. He tried it on the outside of Hopkins, but Hopkins defended greatly. He's on controller, don't forget that. He's fighting this car.
Oh, contact between Anno and Ike Marave. Ike is forced into the gravel through the Suzuka SS as I think it was Anno losing a little bit of control, tapping Ike Marave. That has demoted them both into the gravel, and now we have a 4-way fight. Let's have a ride around Marquez. 3-way, almost 3-way into Degnes. Danny has to go to the gravel, and he loses out big time. That's Ismail Stopper spinning through Degnes as well. Cuts across the track. Ooh, how did he not collect anyone? Danny Tutui in the walls. Jan Temka losing out as well. And this has been just chaos so far.
The later on we go here, the more the battles are unfolding and the contact is getting worse. But now here, Sara Mulfeda looking for 2nd place. She was in an incident in that first set, but now is looking to get ahead. But what has happened with Oliveira and I believe where has we have lost someone here. Wasn't we fighting someone else for second place? But now Suzuka Shark is running away with all the carnage happening behind him. He's lucky that he's had a good start here as Sada and Latela is going side by side toward 130R. Who's gonna back out, or is anyone gonna back out? Looks to be Sada for now. Backs out from, behind that yellow Bus and Hornets supposed car. Now everyone goes a bit wide through 130. I believe that's the racing.
Oh, Letelier's in the wall. Letelier has missed the chicane and managed to go in the wall. I don't think that was a little bit of contact. Let's have a good look. Yes, there has been contact between Sarah Milfetova and Sacha Letelier. That the most them up to P9. There's another driver going off. That's, I believe, Dirk going off into Triangle as well. It's now Merlo pressuring Sarah Milfetova for the second place in the lead, and Suzuka has built themselves up a 3-second gap. What a good drive from the Blue E-Shark representative.
Being happy here that everything behind him is off.
That's
There's again
Letelier.
Letelier off again into turn 1. I believe some issues with their car. Gonna have to be careful if he's lost it under braking. Those tires, and with those damage as well, you might have to be careful with the brake bias, and it looks like he is suffering. Maybe maybe can fix those issues before the end of the race. But now here we have a 4-way battle from Hopkins to Stopka. I think 3-way battle up ahead. Marquez is not far off, so they might make a 4-way here going towards turn 8 and turn 9, the most difficult part of the track here for these cars, as after that the tires will be a bit overheated after those S's, and now they happen. We see Temka overtaking Rob on the inside, getting a good run through there and clearing before the braking zone.
Indeed, so a little bit of a bad exit for Antoine Rob, I think. Maybe a little bit of gravel. The battle for P6 has closed up a little bit. 4 tenths between Livingston and Hopkins. 6 tenths between Hopkins and Marquez. It's actually a battle for P5 as Stopper is maintaining a touch of distance as Hopkins runs a real wide. That's going to allow Livingston a look down the inside onto the following straight perhaps, but Hopkins may have a better exit just by running wide. Lost a little time, gives a little bit more slipstream to Livingston, but should maintain just enough gap going into 130R.
As we also see up ahead, Merlo is about 2 tenths behind P2 Sarah, and this might also unfold up ahead there as Livingston makes himself visible in the mirrors for that aggressive inside line. As here we are, Suzuka Shark, I believe, got the fastest lap, but Sarah then beats it, and here we are on the battle for P2 towards turn 1 in the seats to Miss Mirko. Mirko has shown in qualifying that he has the pace, and now comes the first couple corners where the full-on skill is required to keep the car facing the right way as Eastbrand Stopper goes wide trying to attack Livingstone.
Indeed, so there's going to be quite the battle between Melo and Milfetova, and it does look like Milfetova has the pace advantage on Suzuka. Suzuka doing 202, Sarah doing 201, and sideways action for Livingston. There has been a little bit of contact between these two according to the to the server, and Stopper retakes 7th place, Livingston plummeting down all the way down to 11th place, slotting in behind Juan Gramage. So at the moment we're going to have a quick close battle, or have a quick look to see how the battle for the 2nd place is developing, and soon it will become battle for 1st place.
Yeah, catching to Suzuka Shark here. The pressure will start to build up. 12 minutes 50 remaining. And this is it for the opening part. Now we're in the midst of the hot battles here. Max Livingston after this mistake. Sasha Letelier again, issues coming out of turn 7. And here's a huge battle. 4-way from Jan Temka to Max Livingston, who had the issue with the contact. Trying to regain those positions. We know the pace advantage is there, but obviously Suzuka very difficult to overtake in some parts. You need to have a good run out of some corners, and Juan Gramage has showed us in qualifying what he can bring here. And sadly also with Juan Gramage issues after turn 8 in lap 1. He also needs to bring back what he has lost, and Anton Rob goes wide, which gives Juan Gramage a great run towards 130R.
As we look aboard from Max Livingston, Juan Gramage very on the inside, Antoine very on the outside. Livingston doesn't know who to slipstream. Can he even slipstream Juan? Juan still taking middle of the line, not allowing Antoine Rob any lick of it. Takes the place very confidently and is now under pressure from Max Livingston. Acero sets another fastest lap, 1.4 seconds faster than Suzuka. Oh, a little bit of oversteer. Runs into the side of Antoine Roque, forcing him wide.
Oi, that was not what you want to see from I believe that was the yellow car. I believe, yeah, that battle there. Sorry, into that chicane. You don't want to lose the rear while being side by side, and that slides him into the other fighting car, and obviously not right what you want to see. But now up ahead, Merlo is losing out a bit to Cyber, but Cyber with the fastest lap is now right on the rear of Suzuka Shark. But also here at the back, for P6, yes, Brand Stopper and Hopkins are fighting it. Getting closer to each other out of these S's, very difficult to come out of. And here's the battle for first. Sada makes herself visible in the mirrors, but doesn't quite try it yet. He has not a quite good overtaking move. But now these three are going towards the hairpin. Who's gonna be aggressive through here? Doesn't look like to be anyone. But Suzuka Shark goes to fence and Mirko locks the front left and loses a lot of time.
Indeed, so that's now going to put Mirko Melo outside the slipstream range. Sarah very much in the slipstream range, 4 times things Corsa, so that's going to let her pull herself closer to Suzuka Shark through the spoons, and she's going to have a great run into 130R if she can stay very much close. Look how much she closes up on the brakes.
Looks like through spoon. Obviously here the better thing you want to do is get the good run, not mid corner speed. And it looks like Sarah has gotten the formula correctly as Suzuka Shark goes very defensive towards Wafadua, then slides to the right and gives only the inside line to Sarah. Sarah on the inside. Is anyone gonna lose out here? No, it looks like they all both keep it on the gas pedal, but Sarah gets the position just with the better line and towards the chicane now. Who gets the better line through here? Sarah has attacked those inside curves but didn't lose too much time, while Suzuka tried for the exit, but now Mirko behind will give pressure to Suzuka Shark. Great battle for first place here, and it might not be over yet if Merlo gets past. Sarah and Mirko might fight it here later on.
I've just noticed that one of the competitors has just said "Go Sarah" as she makes the move while he's racing himself.
Having some eyes on that those cameras too, Fernando Alonso Miami style, looking at the battles they've seen here. But now Mirko right on the rear of Suzuka Shark through the S's. That dirtier might hurt, but Suzuka Shark looks to be having struggles here, going with being a bit under pressure. But Mirko loses out, goes over the bump, and is now onto the gravel and loses a lot of time. Nearly spins around, but manages to keep it out on track. And behind, Oliveira has catched a lot. He might manage to get past Merlo's issues. There we go. Got down the inside of turn 9. Very close, but no contact there.
Indeed, that was extreme because that brings Marquez up to the fight as well. So this is turning into a three-way battle for that third place, and that's going to give a lot of pressure off Suzuka Shark, who can now go and try and chase Marquez. Looks down to the inside for Mirko Melo after he's been little pushed away from that apex by Martin Oliveira, and in fact Marquez has to slot back, has to slipstream into spoons. Will he make the move around the spoons? You know, it might be even better to try and hang back to the run on 130 yards, try and stay as close as Oliveira runs extremely wide. That's going to allow Mirko Melo down inside, but Martin Oliveira just manages to keep himself on the track. Marquez now with a big slipstream advantage on Mirko Melo.
Good run from Marquez out of the spoon corner in the slipstream, but Mirko's slipstream is stronger from Martin. Looks like the setup helping in Mirko's favor. Going towards 130, yeah, we might see Mirko having a bit more understeer as that setup is more lower downforce, but Marquez aggressive on the brakes, makes himself visible on the inside there, and now follows through here, cuts a bit of the chicane, but doesn't lose too much time. Lost out a bit, but Mirko here gets a great run out of the chicane out towards the main straight. Looks for the outside line, which we know towards turn 1 is the greater line. As we can then cut across, Martin Oliveira tries his best to stay on that inside. And towards the braking zone, Mirko goes a bit wide, but might still manage to keep it side by side. Tries it, contact a little bit, but is still there and gets the inside for the first part of the S's. And now it's going to be switching between inside and outside for the two. Contact! And Martin goes off.
Oh, that was a big
And now
contact.
Marquez behind, and Mirko was sideways through the corner.
There was a big contact between Mirko and Melo. Now Melo trying to ramage the car outside. Martin Oliveira all the way down in P9 after battling for that podium place. That's going to play really well into the hands of Suzuka Shark, who now has a 5-second advantage over the third, the squabbling duo of Marquez and Mirko.
While this all is happening, Sarah up ahead is running away with the lead already 2 seconds. Suzuka can't quite attack here, but Now, still a battle for podium. Fastest lap for Danny to 2. He managed to get under the 2 minutes. But now here, Mirko versus Marquez. Mirko has issues on the exit. Loses out nearly. Ruins his run through towards Spoon. But Marquez didn't quite manage as he had to back out. Jan Temke hits a bump and nearly spins out as well. On the slipstream with Wiesbrand's stopper towards Spoon as well. Will we see here something? Jan Temke tries to keep it behind, but Wiesbrand's stopper has a bit of issues on the braking zone. Tries to go for the better exit, which kind of didn't work out with a loose rear end like that. And now Jan Temke puts himself back in the slipstream. Only slipstream for him, so he might make it here. Wiesbrand defends the inside. Jan goes for the outside towards 130R. Who's gonna back out? It looks like no one wants to. And towards that, Jan Tempe manages before the corner starts. And out behind, Juan Gramache might catch as well, making it a three-way battle.
Indeed, you saw Suzuka was so difficult to overtake, but it seems like drivers are doing it without second thought. We saw overtakes through turn 1. We saw overtakes for the Suzuka S's going into Degners. We saw hairpin overtake. We even saw overtakes around the Spoon corner. These drivers here today have overtaking everywhere and have shown if you know how to race, you can make an overtaking opportunity everywhere.
If you have what it takes to overtake, always as a driver, you want to take every advantage you get. This being Simracing, there's nothing to lose if you go for a bigger risk. And these drivers show us that if you don't take a risk, why even be a racing driver? And now Jan Temke is running away from this battle as Stopper has a bit of a slide there and gives Juan Gramache the door open, and he takes it easily. And now his eyes are set up ahead.
Indeed, eyes are set up ahead for Juan Gramache, but he's gonna have to have his eyes around the back as well, because Wiesbrand Stopper is not gonna let up. We saw the pace that he displayed. He is certainly a top 5 contender on pace alone, as Marquez closes back up to Mirko Merlo. Half a second between these two. As around the outside on the grass, Juan Gramache tries to make a move on Jan Temke. Has the inside for the following hairpin. Jan Temke has to go around the outside. Can he power out? He should have the better line here. We saw that the outside line, yes, look how much of a better exit Jan Temke gets. Slipstream now battle, 10.5 between Juan and Stopper. So this could go either of two ways. He could either end in some amazing maneuvers, or he could end in a three-way disaster into the Spoon corner. Side by side, Juan on the inside runs extremely wide. Everyone runs extremely wide, in fact. And now it's Martin Oliveira who brought himself into contention after battling for third place.
And now here we see Juan Gramache is going to have 2 cars defending. But Wiesbrand Stopper might have the greatest chance here, as he had the better exit out of Spoons and towards 130. They go. There's nothing in between these 3 drivers as Juan Gramache keeps it first. But into the chicane, who might get the better run here? Juan Gramache defends the inside, and Jan Temke takes the outside line. Nearly manages, but a bit of contact, and Wiesbrand Stopper is so closer to Temke than Temke to Gramache. But now Martin Oliveira, as we said, battling for second, has dropped down to 8th, but now might have a chance to jump up to 5th here. But Juan Gramache gets the best run through there, and Wiesbrand Stopper is the closest here out of this 4-way battle.
Indeed, the closest one. Oliveira just a half a second. It's half a second behind them. It's bit later here, and you bring yourself back into the slipstream range. Look, everyone here is now within slipstream range. That means through the S's, you're gonna have that dirty air. You're gonna have to be a little bit more conservative. Oliveira just 2 tenths behind Wiesbrand Stopper, who is struggling a little bit with the rear grip through the Suzuka S's. As we saw, this is where he lost the position to Juan Gramache a few laps ago.
As we now ending these S's here, now comes the one who gets the best run through turn 7 and looks to be no one, as everyone gets the same shot through here. Martin makes him visible in both his mirrors, and now towards turn 9, he is not a great overtaking spot, as obviously if you lose out, you go into the gravel, even hit the wall. And now towards the first overtaking spot that could be happening is here they happen onto the braking zone. They follow each other. Wiesbrand Stopper tries to make a miss, but goes wide into the braking zone. Martin Oliveira tries to get the undercut here. Doesn't quite manage to make it stick and goes back into the slipstream. These 4 have all the same pace. There's no advantage known to them. But you got Jan Gramache for getting a bit of a jump here. Jan Temke trying his best to stick to that leading car. Martin Oliveira goes very wide. Might get the good run here though at the exit. And it does look like he lost out a bit due to the loose rear end. But Wiesbrand Stopper defending the inside.
Indeed, and that little bit of tail wiggle has maybe stopped Oliveira from making a run or a move down to 130. In fact, Mattia Rivera concedes that, and there is no point. It will just lose us too much. There's contact between these two.
How did he manage to stay straight there? That was immense contact, but Yisran Stopper, probably needing the switch of pants after that corner, managed to stay ahead. And now the battle here is just between these two, as up ahead Jan Temkas right on the US. Iker Marave has issues through. I believe that was Spoon, and now here, two battles happening back to back. Up ahead Jan Temka and Gramash, and here the teammates of Jesper Stopper and Martin Oliveira so close together going through turn 2.
Indeed, there's nothing to give, nothing to take. We have 3 battles going on. We have battle for the 3rd place between Mirko Melo and Marquez. We have battle for 5th place between Juan and Temka. Eastman Stopper and Oliveira were in that battle for 5th place, but they have dropped back due to a little bit of a contact between. There's more contact between them as Oliveira tries to run down the inside, touches the rear wheel of Eastman Stopper, losing them even more time. So now there's a 3rd distinctive battle between them. Let's switch back for the battle for 3rd place for just a moment, as Marquez is now really on the back of Mirko Melo.
I believe as well, if Sarah doesn't manage to be end the lap here, this might be the final lap between these. So this is the final time they go around these corners.
There is not. There's still one more lap. It is
alright.
+1.
It says
so
one more lap. I apologize for that. There's one more lap after the timer ends, and Marquez here has only one more shot through these corners, but also behind. It looks like Jan Temka has some issues. Oliveira goes past, but manages to then bring it back. Yes, Eastman Stopper has gone past. I know there's a freeway battle. Gramash now has left this battle here behind, and now going into the final lap for Sarah. This is going to be an interesting, as Sarah's, I believe, now going through the final chicane, and that makes it next lap, the final lap in this freeway battle here will not calm down. This is going to be a battle to the line between also 3rd place Marquez and Merlo, and here we see Temka go slightly wide to fence the inside. Miss Martin gonna look to have a round outside, get the switch twice, doesn't quite manage, as Jan Temka's eyes are also on Isbrand. He knows he has the pace and nearly slides into the pit lane. It's Martin.
Indeed, we have seen a few drivers hit the pit lane before, but it's been so close. Nip and touch for 204.5 for Sopa, 204.6 for Oliveira. Temka had a little bit of an issue. He's now side by side to turn 1, takes the lead. Isbrand Stopper concedes, goes very much wide. Isbrand Stopper could try and cut back inside. Temka has the grip needed to pull away from Stopper in just the nick of time. As Isbrand Stopper, we know he struggled through this section of S's, so let's see if Oliveira can make his way by. We can see last time around we saw Oliveira touch Isbrand Stopper, especially for this part. Oh, it is Oliveira cutting a little bit too much of a curb. That's going to cost him on the exit, and that might put him a little bit outside. No, Stopper manages to catch a tank slapper, pull himself back into the clutches of Oliveira.
Looks to me the battle for 3rd place is coming down a little 5 tenths between them, but here Martin has overshot the corner, got a bit too hard in there, and that has lost him out some time. But here we see Marquez taking a bit of an awkward line through the hairpin, lost him a bit more time, and this might be it unless there's been a second mistake. But obviously I don't want to give the commentator's curse on any of our drivers here. And this might be it with the finale in the back. There might be a final battle between Dirk and Rob for 14th. But that looks to be in the top 10. Final for the battles. As here we are now the battle for 14th. Dirk and Rob. Anton tries it, and Dirk goes a bit wide out of turn 6. And out of turn 7, Rob might get a better run here. Dirk goes a bit wide. Rob with a shot goes through. Thought I'm gonna make it side by side through turn 8. Doesn't quite look like it. Rob is fast, but now towards his right hand is here very difficult to nail. As Sarah wins the first race of the OTL Formula Masters. It's wait, hold on. Suzuka Shark has spun it before the line.
No, Suzuka
manages to
after,
bring it.
Just after the line. Suzuka Shark manages to retake it. That's quite after the line. The line is right at the start of the pit boxes. So Juan Gramash takes P5, Jan Temka P6, Isbrand Stopper P7, Oliveira takes P8, P9 for Max Livingston. Hopkins will be come across in P10. Still a good result. Such a Letelier who had such good pace was just knocked out of competition in P11. John Marcucci will come P12. Ike Marvel will come across P13. Antoine Rob will take 14th. Dirk will have to settle for P15 as he makes his way down the back straight into 139. Anno down in P16 with Danny Tsutsui in P17, who has set a 59.6, 59.8. So he does have a prize waiting for him from the admins.
I am quite interested to see what that special prize is for the drivers to get the low under 2-minute lap time. I believe Day 2's only goal was to get that here, as I believe after the first lap incident, he decided that the race wasn't as important as to get that special reward. And I kind of want to stay till the end to see what that special reward is, as this is the first race we will have 2 of those. And with the action we saw today, I'm into this race. I'm quite interested to see what in the second race. With again, I believe we'll have the top 10 switched up again. So this is going to be interesting with Hopkins starting in P1 now.
So certainly we should. I don't think we will have a reverse grid. I think it will be the qualifying result. It will be a qualifying result for the race 2. At least I think that's how it might be. So it was John Marcucci saying, "Who took me out? I need to know." John Marcucci was going in such a good place, and unfortunately has been knocked out a little bit. So let's see how it develops. So there is technically 5 minutes until GT 500 was racing, but we are running just a little bit over the schedule. A little bit to be expected. It's the first time for everyone doing these kind of events, and certainly. It's been so much fun. I'm not sure about you, but about every viewers and the drivers. But I'm certainly enjoying myself here today. It's been a phenomenal turnout.
As this has been an interesting so far. We're nearing the end of today's fun. Obviously, I believe 1.5 hours left, but this is not over yet. There's one more race in the Formula Masters with these race cars here. And I believe the surprise might even be a surprise for the event organizer who wanted to have a surprise here, who hasn't come up for one, as he didn't think it was possible to get the low under 2-minute lap time. And now it's gonna be a fourth game for them as well, as now going towards race 2. What are you most expecting to see out of our drivers in lap 1?
Honestly, I'm expecting to see quite the battle between the runners, as they should be starting in the qualifying positions, meaning we should see a little bit more. I don't want to say linear expected results that one might say, but given how close a lot of these drivers are, I'm not sure I can say that. Like, there's been so many drivers that have certainly surprised me. I mean, Suzuka qualified P10 and managed to keep P2 confidently. They're just getting better and better, and a lot of these drivers are getting better and better as they drive. They're getting more comfortable in these cars, and honestly, I cannot say with confidence what's going to happen in the second race.
It's gonna be a shuffle again and a surprise start again between our drivers. As I said, the racing here gets better and better, but I believe also we're starting to get to the point where for most of our drivers fatigue will come in, as you yourself are saying. You've just been commentating here, not even driving, and you already start feeling the feeling of overwhelming. And gotta believe for the old drivers here, they are probably also feeling the same thing. Racing start since 10:25 this morning UTC time, and it's now nearing, I believe, 19 UTC. So it's about a constant 9-hour drive with just 1 hour break for the F1 qualifying. So our drivers here getting better, but also getting more tired. So we might see some more aggressive overtakes, as there's not much to lose anymore until the end of our event here.
Indeed, so there might be not much to lose. We only have 2 more races left. We have the second race here in Formula Masters, and then we have the party of commentators happening in the final event at Letpo Racing GT500, a 24-lap mini endurance, I would say, compared to what we've been running, the sprint races that we've been running here. So that will be interesting to see as well.
As now, again, the little free practice before the race, I believe this just to warm up the servers. I think this will be skipped as well. And when that will happen, we might see again an interesting start of the second race of Formula Masters. These cars have brought us not quite the race we saw with the Legends forecast, but I gotta say the battling was still up on 100% fun level. So even if we don't see drag races from start to finish, we still saw some incredible work from all of our drivers here.
Indeed, so that's going to be very interesting to see what will happen. So we have Sarah Mulfatova on pole position for this race with Marquez starting P2. We have Juan Gramash in P3 with Jan Temka P4, Stoppa in P5, Oliveira P6, Livingston will take P7, Hopkins takes P8, Letelier takes P9, and John Marcucci takes P10. And I believe the rest of the qualifying is as it was in race 1.
So that is going to be interesting. Sarah, who was fastest on track, is starting in pole position. Obviously, I'm not wishing upon any doom here on our drivers, but if Sarah here managed to get a clean start, she will be gone from the face of the grid after a few corners. But behind, that's going to be interesting to see. Juan Gramash had the pace as well. I believe ahead of Juan Gramash is starting Suzuka Shaka. For me, it looks like everyone is leaving, disconnecting, as I believe we have issues again with the server, unless that's just for me here.
Also, I believe we are having another server restart, so we will be running a little bit say.
So order was wrong for the race.
Yeah, so we had the wrong order for the race. So be back with you. Play the
OTL right now having the most issues here. We're gonna have the Simpsons technical difficulties theme playing here as right as
very much so. So server restart, we will let you know when. So now we're gonna have a little bit of interlude. So actually this is a perfect time for me to have a little break and actually bring you back to some more words from the charity that we're sponsoring today. So I will let SpecialEffect talk a little bit more about themselves, and hopefully you just go support the show. They're phenomenal people, and I will just let you watch these next 2-minute clip.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm a 53-year-old gentleman, and SpecialEffects have come into my life early on when I was in hospital, and a lot of the IT equipment and assistance that SpecialEffect has provided has really helped me.
Worked with Becky and provided
at the time,
tablet,
when you're in hospital, you're in bed, you've broken your neck, and you just think the world's going to end. But then you guys came along, and you think, oh, this is great, I can still be part of the community, I can send messages to friends, family, put a smile on my face. That's the difference it makes. Because when you have these things happen to you, you just don't know what's ahead. And being humans, we always think the worst, don't we?
We had never-ending support, and they always said, any problems, get in touch with us, and we'll find a way round it. And they found ways round all sorts of things. It's humbling to know that they're there, and nothing is too much trouble. And as she got stronger, they started to add the email facility on for Becky. We know that really, really helped Becky's mood. It gave Becky some more freedom to be able to express herself and to do things herself. I dread to think how many emails she deals with in a day, because she's got a fantastic circle of friends and we've got a big, very close family. To have this iGaze tablet with Skype on it was invaluable, especially during COVID. That was the only access that we had to Bex other than emails. They've transformed Becky's life, probably my mental state as well, knowing that I can keep in touch with my daughter, and I can't speak highly enough of them. People use this word amazing, and I've often thought it's used too often. I think in this situation, it is truly amazing what SpecialEffect do for their clients, you know.
There we go. There's another little video from the SpecialEffects charity. Like I said, wonderful people. They definitely deserve all the love that you can give them. And where was I? So instead of half an hour delay, I think we're gonna make that a little bit of a 40-minute delay now. So almost an hour delay. So, yay, great for first-time tries, right? The pioneers
yes,
of...
now, I believe, close to the race start. I'm sorry for cutting you off there. Everyone is now, everything looks to be working finally for the server, and this might be the final time we're racing the Formula Masters around this track.
Indeed, there might be the last time we were racing them today. Who's to say they might not be back for the next event?
For today, yes, for the festival. Obviously, no, I'm not talking about the event for the cars ever. These cars will probably be seen again in a future event of this league, or maybe one of the leagues that are hosting here today. But for today, this is the final time the drivers have a chance to redeem themselves on this Japanese track with those cars. And everyone is lined up on the grid, and this is gonna be it for the fight of the final time with the Formula Masters.
Indeed, this should hopefully be the final time as my Streamlabs tries to pick the game up. We have a minute and a half left until the lights go out for the final time on OTL this evening. And we have Juan Gramash on pole position, Mirko Melo P2. John Marcucci in P3, Milfatava will take P4, Jan Temka in P5, 6th will be Livingston, 7th Letelier, 8th will be Marquez, Oliveira will take 9th, and 10th will be Suzuka Shark. So that is your basically reverse from what it was in race 1.
Can't wait, some issues here by seeing me. I can't join the service yet, I'm having slight issues, but I see here that everyone is lined up on the grid. 1 minute, and then we will see all the cars. So we'll give you this time the race start. So can't wait to see what the drivers will bring here.
Indeed, I certainly cannot wait to see. As the server admin says, 1 minute left until the start. We have 20 minutes plus 1 lap on the server. 30 seconds go out, and for the final showing today, OTL will be trying to extend their stay as much as they can, it seems, into the event today, racing for SpecialEffect. As the light board goes out, we have a 10-second warning right now, and let's see as the lights slowly come on like a Christmas tree. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights, and away they go. Angramash gets a very good start. Mirko Melo gets a very... Sarah Mufatova there with a quite a good start. Juan Gramash with an even